As well. Song Yadong is here, as is Bharat Kandari. Kandari in black. Song Yadong with an early kick. He is in white.
Exactly what I expected, John. Immediately takes the center. Wild spinning hook kick to the head. Bharat Kandari is very good at measuring range and distance with a long stinging jab. He tends to set up the majority of his attacks with that jab.
Imagine stepping into the octagon and in your native land, 19 years old, about a week's notice. But the confidence of Yadong unshakable here during fight week, and he's off to a pretty good start here against Bharat Kandari.
It takes a special individual to be able to deal with that kind of pressure at such a young age.
Yeah.
Beautiful level change, ducked under the big right hand of Kandari.
Spinning attack from Kandari, nothing doing.
Wild spinning back fist. That's the danger when you're fighting a guy that's on his toes all the time, like Song Yadong. It's very difficult to measure that distance and set up something like that, something crazy like a spinning back fist. You really have to stick to fundamentals when someone's on their toes. I won't be surprised if Kandari starts to work that lead leg as well. Sets it up with the long jab and then chops into that lead leg, possibly slow his opponent down. At the moment, he looks like he's setting up that home run big right hand. Oh! Nice counter right there. Excellent head movement from Yadong. Again, covers so much distance with that right hand.
Yeah. He's doing a nice job feinting with that lower body as well. 2 minutes have gone by here in round one. Nice head movement from Yadong.
Kandari backed up against the fence. He's a sitting duck for those wild head kicks. Nice inside low kick. Nice jab. There's that stinging jab that I was talking about.
Yeah.
Very good at extending his reach, using the full length of his arms.
Kandari starting to get comfortable here, about 3 minutes in. That doesn't help, as Song Yadong effectively attacks that lead leg of Kandari.
We're really starting to see a lot of people integrate that kick into their game now, that low kick. Aiming for the outside of the calf, try and deaden the leg. Takes away some of the movements of the ankle and the lower leg.
Nice drop down by Yadong, and then he lands up top with the left hand. A definite fluidity on the feet here for Song Yadong. Very good footwork.
Looks incredibly comfortable. He has to watch. If Kandari starts to read him, he starts to feint that overhand right and then bring the knee up the center line. Yadong may level change onto it if he's not careful. Nice tight guard, good head movement. Good feints on the way in as well. Already showing a very good understanding of footwork. Right. Controlling the octagon and forcing his opponent to move in the direction that he wants. You can see him immediately cutting off this side of the octagon here. You can see these bit.
Oh! Big knockdown for Song Yadong. Desperation shot here from Kandari.
In on a choke. 3 taps by submission. 3 submissions by choke. Look at this work.
Nice.
Nice.
The tap.
Peruvian necktie. Beautiful work.
Have a night, young man. Wow. Fires the mouthpiece into the crowd. Song Yadong, youngest fighter on the roster. Light him up in Shanghai.
Excellent work by a young fighter. Showed composure, showed a good measuring of distance, and then a big, powerful overhand. He was measuring that early on.
Well, if you're looking for Chinese fighters to sort of take the torch and help guys like Li Jingliang usher in this market, I submit to you, Song Yadong. What a moment for the young man tonight, Dan.
Incredible. That's going to add a lot of momentum to his UFC career. Imagine how he's going to get back into the gym now, having been a UFC fighter. Look at this, beautiful. Big overhand right on the chin. Immediately takes away the equilibrium. And then as Kandare scrambles, look at this. Beautiful front headlock position, nice, really good. Shades of Ben Rothwell there, stacking his opponent into the fence. As Kandare was driving forward, he was tapping. It shows you how tight that was. Let's take a listen to this. Such power in that overhand right, and you can see the celebration. You can see how much, wow! It was like a heat-seeking missile to the chin of his opponent, and immediately clamps onto that. Look at this. Beautiful work. Looks very similar to the go-go choke that Ben Rothwell uses. Continually stacked his opponent. Really nice work.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee John Sharp has called a stop to this contest at 4 minutes, 16 seconds of the very first round. Declaring the winner by submission due to a front choke, Song Yadong!
Song Yadong, 3 5-minute rounds in the bantamweight division. Yadong in the black, Aranchez in the yellow. Last time Yadong came out with a spinning wheel kick, this time with a joust to the face of Aranchez.
You can see here he's always on his toes. This is something you'll see in every one of Song Yadong's fights. Always moving, always light on his feet, moving in and out of range. And something else that stood out to me as well, doing research in his earlier career before he signed with the UFC, is how good he is at punching moving backwards. So you can't rush forward on this kid without being punished for it.
Well, a whole lot of experience in favor of Sergio Aranchez tonight.
Oh, nice. Left hook, overhand, right hook. Really, really good work. Very technically sound, you can see here in the hands of Song Yadong.
It looks like he does a lot of sparring, Dan,
yeah.
does Yadong. For a young man, he's very comfortable in the pocket, isn't he?
He is. But, you know, when you're so fast, it must be like dancing around people sometimes when you sparring them. It must be quite a playful thing for him because there are so few people that could keep up with him on the mats. I mean, that's probably why he went to Alpha Male, because they've got so many smaller, fast fighters there. He needs a challenge, but I mean, the hand speed is incredible, especially when he starts searching for that left hook to the body.
He told the media that his debut was a distant memory, which is quite exciting for us fans because it clearly means he's made developments. He's gone and done a lot of stuff since in those fight moments, if you like.
Definitely. You know, I always like to think that every time you go into a fight, you should look at your previous fight and feel very, very distanced from the person that you're watching. You should be able to pick many, many faults that you've corrected during your recent training camp. I mean, he looks sensational. I like the way that Aranchez is approaching this, though. He's confidently moving forward behind his defense and trying to pressure the young fighter.
Well, we should have seen him twice already this year, but he had withdrawn from both of those contests. One, I'm not so sure the reason why, but he had sickness last month versus Luke Sanders.
Beautiful spin hook kick again. Seen quite a few of those kicks tonight.
Aranchez just loves to fight.
That was a good jab. Excellent work at cutting the octagon off as well. Stepped across his opponent there. You can't drop your guard against Song Yadong, though. That's the thing. I mean, to find the confidence to open up and throw your own strikes when he throws it as fast and as powerfully as he does. Difficult to find a window of opportunity to really enforce your game.
10 years between these two athletes, and Aranchez with a wife and son as well.
Oh! Now, this was something that I saw a lot in the Josh Emmett fight. He does tend to fall to his back a little bit, and a bit like, oh, look at this power! He's turned into his opponent now to pull him down, but he's actually pulled him into a half-guard position without the underhook. I'm wondering if he's going to try and start to dig for that and look for a sweep. Song Yadong's got a very, very good base in the top position, though. And his hand speed and power transfers to the ground as well.
He's a Chinese Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu champion, but on the other side, Aranchez is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu brown belt. And of course, from Sao Paulo, Brazil, I'm assuming that's a very legitimate brown belt as well.
Yeah, I would imagine the competition's much more fierce.
But he has to be careful not to fall into Jiu-Jitsu habits when you're on your back.
Well, as I was saying just before they started to work, a lot of the time in the Josh Emmett fight, particularly in the first round, I believe it was like 5 or 6 times he was caught with shots. I mean, powerful shots from Josh Emmett, obviously, because every shot he throws is powerful. But it looked almost like he was playing the Fabricio Verdum, the possum game a little bit, fall into his back, trying to get people to come into his guard so now he can start to work. Now, obviously, you can see he's got a closed guard here, he's got the overhook, and he's also got a forearm on the inside, possibly trying to set up a triangle. Song Yadong is just so strong, and again, you know, he's been out to Team Alpha Male, the home of Josh Emmett as well, so a person that's already been in there against Aranches, who's had to game plan and got a win over him before. Might be a few good tips that he picked up in the gym before making his way back out to Singapore.
Really nice turnover on the elbows for Yadong, who's putting lots of pressure now on Aranches.
He's very good at making the fight uncomfortable, whether it's on the feet with speed or whether it's on the floor with pressure. You can see he's constantly got elbows and forearms in the face to create space, but also to drive in and cause as much pain as he can.
Whatever happens in this fight, Dan, how exciting is it to see a 20-year-old prospect like Yadong coming out of China, out of this part of the world, clearly with a high ceiling?
Oh, it's amazing, and I think, honestly, in the next few years, we're going to see that these weight classes flooded with China.
Corner very much led by Uriah Faber. He seems to be calling the shots.
Well, it's going to be difficult to... Oh, look at this speed.
He didn't just go, he was first gear to sixth gear, all in one with Song Yadong. Looks like he's had enough, Dan.
Yeah.
He wants to get this fight done.
Both of these guys a bit fired up. Nice, good exchange there. A short right hand landed for Song Yadong there as Aranches was slipping to the side. Just going back to your point about Uriah Faber, it would be difficult for any coach to stand in the corner and have more authority than Uriah Faber, given the amount of experience that he's got.
That's very true.
Now this is a much better position because not only is he in top position, back in the guard of Aranches, but now when they're up against the fence, he can very much control the movement of Aranches' hips here. And Aranches knows that, which is why he's trying to get a foot on the hip. Good work for Song Yadong, removing that foot.
It's slicing season for Yadong as he drives these elbows across the face of Aranches.
It's going to be difficult for Felipe to set anything up off the fence here because he's so cramped. There's not a lot of space to work. He's trying to kick his hips out. But beautiful work by Song Yadong, controlling the head and moving it back onto the fence, keeping his hips square and not allowing him to kick out and threaten arm bars. Really good work.
Yeah. Going to the body, to the head. Various different strikes, even from these ranges. Aranches does he not need to get his back to the fence then and just make an effort, come off that hip and get back to his feet?
Quite possibly, but to be honest, I think what he would prefer to do is to get more space so he can start to set up submissions. I don't really think he wants to be in the striking range against Song Yadong. I think he would much prefer to grapple as much as he can in this fight. He's just not having his way at the moment.
He's given his back there. That was slow as well.
Look at this. I feel like Aranches is struggling now. Struggling to find his way back into this fight with confidence.
He's just moving around him freely. There was an opportunity there for Aranches to pull back that half guard, but Yadong just quickly moved around.
He's doing a good job of defending the mount, which Song Yadong is going for, but this is
going for the leg now, down from the bottom. Yeah, so that's a risk.
The strength of the lower body. Oh, and the knee to the midsection, the ribs.
He's really driving that in, GSP style.
Yeah, I bet Matt Serra's somewhere in the world wincing every time one of those lands. This is a very, very strong position. Aranches just doesn't seem to have a great deal to offer. He's turning to his back again, but Yadong is a step ahead of him. Now he's into a mount position. Oh, setting up a possible arm triangle.
Yeah. Oh, he's got that set up, Dan.
Not even a fight from Aranches.
No, there's not a lot of room between him and the fence, but he's certainly there.
He doesn't even he's not even trying to defend this, John.
He needs to start answering the phone, Dan.
This is not good. This is not good news for Aranches. He's trying to fight out
even
now.
That defense was half-hearted. You could grab your own leg, and he gave that up. Maybe he doesn't feel it. He's gone back to it to take some pressure off.
The preliminary steps to defend that you would expect from a brown belt, though, weren't there, and that to me is a sign of his confidence lacking in this fight.
He knows it's coming, but he wasn't one step ahead of the game, which is what jiu-jitsu is all about.
Absolutely. And it's going to be difficult to discourage Song Yadong, even if he's on the losing end of a fight. Nah, look at that. Tried a reverse triangle.
Yadong flattening out Aranches here from side control.
He looks incredibly strong as well.
Aranches not digging for any underhooks down. Oh, there he gets it. He gets the roll. I
Nice.
apologize. That was nice work to get back to his feet. Now let's see some urgency from him. Is he perhaps too laid back in his character?
Perhaps. That was nice. That uppercut was searching. He
There's
was
some
looking
urgency.
for the chin.
Yeah, that's what we want to see.
It just sometimes seems like his confidence during a fight, like kind of peaks and troughs throughout the round.
Well, Yadong leading the total strikes, nearly a century of strikes. Look at that, 16 for Aranches, 98 for Yadong.
Strong again here in a clinch position. Song Yadong just taking a minute. Must be confident that he's ahead on the
Last 10
scorecard.
seconds. It's a slower finish.
Oh!
Well, as I said that, that's it! Roll the credits. This one is over before the bell can sound.
That has to be one of the best break clinch elbows I have ever seen. That was amazing. He was taking a breather, he took a second, then he pulled back and he unloaded the shortest, most powerful elbow I've ever seen land, especially for this weight class. Incredible. There's no doubt that was a finishing shot. Felipe Aranches collapsed to the floor straight away. Wow. I cannot wait to see a replay of that. Let's take a look at this.
I am gobsmacked. Dan.
So clinched up against the fence, taking a moment. Aranches having a breather. Oh, nice, right to the side of the head. Look at that power, beautiful work. Glanced across the ear, caught the temple, really nice. Felipe Aranches collapsed to the floor, and Song Yadong pours the pressure on. Very, very impressive. My goodness, we've got to keep...
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Neil Swells has called a stop to this contest at 4 minutes, 59 seconds of round number 2. Declaring the winner by knockout, Song Yadong!
Song Yadong here in the Bantamweight division. Straight to the middle of the octagon is Yadong. Morales accepted this fight, believing that it was the perfect opportunity to steal the thunder that Yadong has created.
You know, it's a big gamble taking a fight against an opponent like Yadong, who's got such hype around him, but at the same time, you know, if you can land the shots that make it count, you walk away with a much bigger victory than you would if you were fighting lower down on the card. Good footwork so far from both fighters.
Morales in his 11th pro fight. Song Yadong, 19th pro contest for him this evening. So despite his young years, he's got a bit more experience. I discovered that he actually used to lie about his age so that he could get competitive matchups.
He's going to be ID'd into his 30s, John, there's no doubt about it. If he can maintain that youthful look, then I'm very jealous of him.
I must say, he's just had a kid, so congratulations to him on dust in Manhattan. He told us that he was only getting a couple of hours sleep each night. That will age you pretty quick.
Yeah. I might encourage you to get the fight stopped early so you can go and take a nap as well. One punch landed so far cleanly for Yadong, which was that right hand to the temple. It's something that Vince Morales has got to watch out for. We saw it drop Barak Kandari. We know it's got power in it. Oh, that was a nice shot from Morales.
Or was it? Speaking with Tony Strickland this week, he's very proud of his student. Said he's very humble, really focused and hard-working in the gym. They limited his sparring coming into this, and they really felt like it paid dividends. A dig to the midsection, something that a lot of the Chinese fighters have had success with this evening.
It stood out to me how invested Tony Strickland is in his fighter as well.
Yeah, willing to relocate with him when the time's right.
And you you've got to think that, you know, the lesson, we actually discussed it earlier this week, the lessons that Tony Strickland would have learned through his career that he can pass on to a fighter like Vince Morales. So it's really no surprise that he was limited in sparring, because back at the Militich team, they used to take chunks out of each other every day. And Strickland said a lot of the time, he left his best performances in the gym, and he doesn't want that to happen to his fighter.
Some big exchanges here down in the centre of the octagon.
Yeah, everything's got power in it with these two guys. I think even Vince Morales might be surprised at the speed of Song Yadong at the moment.
Strength.
Yeah.
Very well set.
It's
like a coiled spring
he is
as well.
He's compact, he's well proportioned for this weight class. There's no excess weight on him at all. And you can say the same for Vince Morales, who's obviously slightly taller with a slight reach advantage. But depending on what range you're fighting at, if you're fighting standing on each other's front toes, reach advantage doesn't really matter.
And he fights, it sort of crackles, doesn't he? He's got this sort of static movement to him.
Static's a very good way to put it. He's simmering. You can see he's just about to come to a boil, and you never know when that's going to be. And it's probably going to be a right hand, because he's searching for it right now. He's reading Vince Morales' jab as it's snapping out. And watch Song Yadong. He leans over his back leg, but he loads that back leg like a spring, so he can fire it back into the right hand. He also has a great counter left hook as well, which he drags across his opponent as he does slip to the right.
Morales is a lot more smooth in his movements.
Yeah, far more orthodox in the way he goes about things. Good head movement there. Very good fundamentals, good basics, something you would expect from a Tony Strickland fighter.
So he's representing himself, his family, and the people of Oregon.
Oh. That was nice. Spinning back fist to a right hook. When you're as fast as Song Yadong, you can try things and get away with it. Vince Morales has got to kind of preempt what Song Yadong's going to do. He's got to try and hit movement. That's what my coach always used to say to me. If I was fighting someone faster, which was pretty much all the time, you've got to hit movement. You've got to try and catch them as they're moving instead of trying to intercept their combinations.
That reach advantage is almost being eradicated by that speed advantage.
Yes. Yadong's starting to bite to that jab, though. You can see a couple of times Morales has feinted the jab, and Song Yadong's reached for it to try and catch it. You can see he's doing it here again. It's not a bad thing to do. You've just got to make sure you don't bring the hand too far away from your chin.
Last few seconds in this opening round.
These rounds are going so fast tonight.
Oh, that's a huge way to finish a round from Toronto. Thank you for your continued support of UFC Fight Pass. We are just getting warmed up. Thanks for sticking around on Fight Pass with us tonight here in Beijing. John Gooden alongside Dan Hardy. A really enlightening encounter here between Song Yadong and Vince Morales. Yadong, the phenom from China, looking every bit that at the moment as well.
A bit more of a lively start from Vince Morales until he got tagged with a clean right hand straight away. But look at that beautiful work. Yadong circled straight back, take control of the center. Oh, that was a nice right hand left hook from Morales. And again.
I discovered that when Yadong was just 9, he was packed off to the Shaolin temples for a couple of years to be away from his family and really live the Shaolin monk life down.
The thing I found fascinating, though, is that he wasn't even necessarily packed off by his family. That sounds like they were trying to get rid of him. He wanted to go. He wanted to start studying martial arts. I mean, what better place to go to give you a foundation in martial arts than Shaolin Kung Fu, which is why he moves so well now. I mean, the athleticism and flexibility of those individuals. Like you said earlier, John, in the broadcast, I trained sometimes up in the north of China with some Shaolin monks, and they're just incredibly athletic. There are so many jumping, spinning attacks. They cover great distance with single explosive movements, and that's reflected in Song Yadong's game. He's far more refined now. He's far more traditional in his movement, but the explosion's still there.
If only people could see the way you float into view as we open the show there, as you come through the air with that left leg extended.
I got my skateboard under me, that's what it is. I'm actually 6 inches shorter than you. Short right hand there, straight into a clinch. Morales is just trying to buzzsaw here.
But the angle work of Song Yadong is just easily out the way.
You're always a couple of steps behind him.
He's very well versed for such a young fighter. But I guess when you consider the facts of those expeditions when he was a young man and his commitment all the way through, he's clearly got the right attitude, and that experience at the Shaolin Temple showed him hardship. So he walked through life with gratitude. He's feeling the ever-growing popularity as well. He's saying that the social media is really where he really feels it, and it's encouraging him in his career.
Nice feints, darting across, changing his angles, trying to get Vince Morales to throw so he can punish him with counters. Morales still struggling to find his range in this fight. Oh, beautiful spinning back fist. I'm surprised we've not seen Morales start to throw a few more low kicks. Try and slow his opponent down a bit, take some of the pop out of his punches.
And you've got to remember, Dan, Song Yadong came off the bench for his training partner Liu Pingyang when Pingyang got injured. So
yes,
we might not have seen him for a little while yet, but it was a chance opportunity for him, and we're grateful that it happened. We saw Pingyang earlier. They've both been out at Team Alpha Male together. Very close partnership.
It was a nice counter right from Morales as he took a low kick.
So they're quite close in significant strikes, Dan, but it's just the way that Yadong puts it together which just looks a bit more spectacular, I guess.
Absolutely, and you know, it also helps the fact that he's the one pushing forward, he's controlling the center. You know, when the scoring is so close, it does come down to aggression and octagon control, and that for me is what Song Yadong is showing here, because he is dictating the pace of this fight.
Yeah, you do feel like Morales is on the back foot, and that's not his decision.
No, he's purely being reactive at the moment because he's not exactly sure what he's dealing with here in Song Yadong. And when he does throw, it's falling short. We're seeing some swelling over the eye of Morales now as well. A pretty bad swelling that's coming up quite quickly over the left eye.
Morales does have a background in boxing, won amateur titles, but he just can't really find his range.
20 seconds.
Worth noting again that he does have the reach advantage as well tonight.
The one thing that's standing out to me, if I was going to give any advice to Vince Morales, is that Song Yadong's using head movement predominantly to get out of the way of these shots. If he starts to chain his combinations together, I feel like he might catch Yadong standing in this fight. He said, "What's your second game plan?" And Morales said, "Tell me." He said, "You've got to push forward, you've got to get inside, you've got to crowd him a bit. Believe in your jab." There we go. Now we're seeing it with Morales. We've got to see him take the initiative away from Yadong in this round. And although, you know, he feels like he needs this round, he might need a finish. We don't know how the judges are seeing this. I mean, we're looking at the strikes. Yadong is only 5 strikes ahead at the moment. But octagon control's been, you know, purely on Song Yadong's side.
Morales really needing to wage war against Yadong in this third and final round. It's going to be easier said than done. A very mobile Chinese fighter, well tuned at Team Alpha Male these days.
And he's difficult as well, you know, on Vince Morales' side, where, oh, that was beautifully timed.
Talk about changing the rhythm.
Watch this, watch Yadong circle towards the back here. He has a rear naked choke on his record. We know he's got good neck attacks. Look at that wrist control around the back, beautiful work. Look at the head pressure as well, forcing his way forward.
He's sharing the mat with Cody Garbrandt and Darren Elkins, as well as Uriah Faber.
No submissions off his back for Morales, as far as I've seen in his career. We've seen a rear naked choke and an arm triangle, but he may be rendered defensive in this position.
Not a lot of space between those two, really being flattened out by Yadong. Cross-body control here. For Yadong is looking to step over.
Oh, that was
a
good
nice
work.
escape there by Morales.
That was good work by Morales. He saw the opportunity. Song Yadong was rushing a little bit there. He was trying to get to the mount too quickly. And Morales spotted the opportunity to escape and made the most of it. Nice turn. But the strength of Yadong is evident.
A couple of looks from Morales, just look, he's a bit disheartened at times, just there when in that clinch battle, in a 50-50 position, and he gets reversed again.
He's in on a level change here. This is good defense from Morales, but beautiful. Look at that. Knee slide out to the side. Wrist control by Morales, who could possibly threaten a triangle here.
Yeah, good work from them here to start being aggressive immediately. Let's go.
Nice short elbow on the bottom. Moving to the last 2 minutes though, I feel like Morales needs to make something dramatic happen.
Going to elevate with the butterfly sweep. Nice work there again to try and create some space with those butterfly hooks. Now in on a leg. Hit it! Looking for that knee bar, Dan.
Calf crush! Calf crush! Up first! Get up, get up, get up!
Never really in too much danger there, Yadong. Wasn't deep enough to grab the knee or long enough away, I guess, to stretch it out and get anything on that heel hook.
No. And in those situations, we heard Tony Frickin call for the calf crush, which we saw Brett Johns have a lot of success with. In those scenarios with a calf crush, because you know you're in one particular vulnerable position, you've got to move very quickly to make something of it. And when you're fighting someone like Yadong who can circle so quickly, who can get around you, can pass your guard, it's difficult to capitalize on those things. To take a guy out like Yadong, you can't jump on a submission. You've got to control him and force the submission on him. And it's very difficult to do when he's taking control.
That Brett Johns secured, had a few different points of contact as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't stop!
Just a readjustment of his mouthpiece there. Now Yadong's getting into a brawl here. I'm not exactly sure why he's taking this risk, because for me he's running away with this fight.
Looking to tie up there. He's got some swelling on the side of his face as well now.
He has.
Both will know they've been in a battle tomorrow morning for sure.
This is good for the development of both of these fighters. They're being tested in every range. I feel like Song Yadong needed, to be tested over the distance in the UFC. With 10 seconds left, it's likely that's going to happen.
Morales really giving it everything he's got though in the last few seconds. He's having a bit of success as well. A little bit too little, too late perhaps. But a fine performance there, and a lot of people on their feet here around the octagon. Yadong getting some attention right now, and Morales with his hands on his hips. But let's take a look at some of the action from the round.
So spinning attacks here from Song Yadong. That was the story of the first round. He threw 2 back kicks to sell the spinning hook kick. Didn't land cleanly, but his pressure throughout the fight was excellent. His boxing looked great in the second round, and then third round, beautifully timed level change on Vince Morales, who was rushing forward with.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. All 3 judges scored this contest 30-27 for the winner by unanimous decision, Kung Fu Monkey, Song Yadong.
Probably as deep as any 1 through 25. 135 pounds in the UFC. Alejandro Perez, number 13 in the world, is in green. Song Yadong is in black.
So with Song Yadong, what we have is this really, really promising young kid who's coming up, who can win by submission or knockout. And in Alejandro Perez, you have a gritty veteran. You have a guy who's got just a full arsenal of skills and knows how to use it, knows how to find openings, knows how to adjust during fights. And that's what makes this an exciting fight.
Ooh, man.
Yadong is wild, man.
Yeah, he will come with the heat early.
He takes chances and he sees openings. He goes a big left hook.
Perez talked a lot this week about being more aggressive in all phases of the game after the Cody Stamann fight in March. Got to be careful with that approach, though, against Song Yadong. UFC fight fans, new summer styles have arrived. Check it out at UFCstore.com. Don't forget, you can customize your own walkout hoodie and walkout jerseys as well. UFCstore.com, where UFC fans shop.
A lot of feints by Yadong, looking for those openings. A lot of movement.
He's a solid guy for the weight class as well.
Solid and really wise for a 21-year-old kid. The way he fights, very high fight IQ. Oh, big
That
right.
overhand just missed. And we were looking at his record the other night. I was just looking at his stats, man. He's been fighting, I think, pro since 15 years old, 16 years old.
Unbelievable. And this matchup initially scheduled for March at UFC 235. Yadong was unable to make the walk, so Perez fought Stamen that night, but these fighters have been on each other's radar really since the turn of the calendar in January.
You see from him, you see he's wild and aggressive, but it's intelligent. Like the way he's throwing these feints in, looking for.
Song Yadong! Whoa! How's that for a highlight? 21 years old.
That's what we were talking about. That is what we're talking about. This kid's special.
Wow, and we've seen him do that before, but man, that is that kid's weapon right there, that right hand. Oh, as soon as Perez stepped in, bang,
And
right on the button.
We should just say Alejandro Perez is tough as nails. For Song Yadong to take him out like that, but it's what we were saying about this kid. He's special. His intelligence inside the octagon, just the ability to recognize openings, and that is just a picture-perfect right hand, folks. And this one here is just academic. He was out cold already. Bink right on, shout out to Robin Black, right on the chin. I mean, it's just a perfect punch.
Ooh, yeah,
this kid is something
second punch.
special. And 21 years old. What I was more impressed with, even more than this, was how cautious and how smart he was in setting things up. A lot of feints, a lot of movement. Let's hear this in real time. That's like hitting mitts. That's like a shin hitting a tie pad, folks. Let's see it in the 360. I mean, that's a picture-perfect right hand.
And
it doesn't get any cleaner.
And then lands his jaw
on the way down. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Herb Dean has called a stop to this contest at 2 minutes, 4 seconds of the very first round, declaring the winner by knockout, Song Yadong!
What a week it has been in the Sunshine State,
sir?
and we're thrilled to bring you the action here as we're underway. Marlon Chito Vera is in the gold, Song Yadong in the black.
As you mentioned before, Brendan, there is a reach advantage in the arms for Marlon Vera, but also a reach advantage in the legs by 2 inches, and that's the big advantage that he has here. He's by far the better kicker. But Song Yadong, if he can get on the inside and minimize the reach advantage, he's got far more heavier hands.
Despite the 5-fight win streak for Marlon Vera, he's an underdog at plus 160 tonight. Song Yadong minus 190 and trying to put together that 1-2 combination. Fires a low kick. Toyo Tires, the official tire of the UFC.
Nice job there from Vera, covers up well.
Yeah, I was just going to say he's obviously trained that because perfectly Song came in and it was a real tight guard.
And Chito just stays so calm in there, doesn't he? Even though he knows that powerful right hand is coming, he just sitting in the pocket, taking his time.
Yeah, he's just trying to get a read on him, trying to get a read on his timing and his rhythm, trying to see what feint Song's trying to use to get on the inside. But you got to be careful as well. Sitting back and waiting too long can sometimes, you know, go against you. But that's what he's doing. That's a nice, fast inside low kick there by Chito.
And Chito Vera has showed poise and toughness despite having to battle through some of the early parts of the fight. 5 fights in a row that he's finished, but only one of those came in the first round. He'll go into deep waters. He'll kind of take a shot and come back later in the fight.
Take a shot, yeah, he'll get hurt and get beat up for a little while and then figure it out, just like he's doing right now. I think he's just taking stock.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the people that he's surrounding himself with now are some of the best in the business, and he really is championship material. I mean, this is an incredibly tough fight for both gentlemen here, and whoever wins this one is going to take a big step up. Oh, man.
He got him flinching hard on that one, Mike.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that kick straight to that right hand from Yadong.
Beautiful calf kick. That one was heavy.
You mentioned the team, Michael, of Chito Vera, who's been several years now in Southern California at Team Oyama with Colin Oyama in his corner, but he's added Jason Perillo recently as well, Michael.
Yeah, Jason Perillo, one of the best boxing coaches in the business. Colin Oyama has been around forever. Daryl Christian is an Olympic wrestling coach. And Jiva Santana, the arm collector, that's his jiu-jitsu coach, who's just an amazing coach. So an all-star team of coaches at his disposal.
Perillo saying that the fight IQ is really improving for a guy like Marlon Vera, who says, so a lot of people will say they don't watch film on their opponent, they leave it to their coaches. Vera will say, my wife and the kids are out for a few hours, I turn the lights down, I watch my guy and everything I can find on him to really try to break it down myself, and then we convene with the team and figure out how we're going to get a win.
Yeah, I always like to watch my guys, but not too much, you know, because at the end of the day, you know, what I found through my experience was if you're watching a fight and you're watching their knockouts and you obsess over it and you're watching it over and over again, then when you step in the octagon, you realize that this man, you've just watched him for 3 months knocking people out every day on TV, and it can make you a little tentative. So towards the end of my career, I stopped doing that. I would watch them once at the start of training camp, know what they're about, and then that was it.
Yeah, I agree, Mike. Same thing. I get a read on what I think are some tells, especially early on when you're not as nervous about it, you're not as anxious. Then I sit back and let my coaches handle it.
These guys are warming up now, though. They were feeling out process at the start, but they're both connecting. Song's landed a couple of good ones. Chito's got the clinch here, looking for the tie knees.
You can knee the body, Song. There's no inside troops against the cage. Don't do that. There.
You hear the voice of Uriah Faber in the corner of Song Yadong, who ventured from China to Team Alpha Male in Sacramento a few years ago.
Nice head position.
Nice. That knee's right there, so be careful of that knee.
Marlon's been working a lot of clinch work here. Daryl Christian, that's one of his fortes. I used to train with him as well. Just clinch, clinch, clinch. So no stranger to working on the fence here for Marlon. Turned him nicely.
Trying to soften up the legs of Song Yadong is Marlon Vera with 30 seconds to go in round 1.
30 seconds, baby. 30 seconds.
Real close round.
Head on his chin, Song. Forehead on his chin. Right on his chin. Bring your head inside. Good. Now ready to bring it up.
They're fishing for the tie clinch there for a moment.
Yeah, both guys are fighting for the clinch. You got to be careful though with the man. Oh, real nice elbow.
Very nice.
Look at this. This is a real nice clinch fight here.
10 seconds.
Signal for the final seconds of round number 1. As Vera firing off some knees to the body.
Song's just chilling.
Ready for round 2, as are we after this. Spencer, 145-pound title against Canadian submission ace Felicia Spencer. It's UFC 250 only on pay-per-view, and it can only be seen on ESPN+.
Well, really good work from both corners there. Perillo calling for more action, wanting Chito to push forward, use the jabs, try and open him up. On the flip side, Team Alpha Male saying, we want a takedown in this round, so both guys giving good advice.
Little strikes just about identical, although Song Yadong putting together a couple of nice right hands there.
So fast.
And you know, if you're Marlon Vera in the first round there, he was a little tentative because when you're going against somebody that's known to be this big, massive power puncher, you got to be careful. But he took his time. He's had 5 minutes. He's like, hold on a minute. I've got the reading. I'm fast enough to evade those punches, and I'm tough enough to take them if he does connect.
Trying to use that leg reach. Marlon Vera as he fires off a kick on each side. And you can see Vera working the legs of Song Yadong while Song is going head hunting a little bit. And now working the body there on the combination. Unbeaten in 5 UFC appearances is Song Yadong. He's won 4 of them. To go along with a draw, he's got 3 performance of the night bonuses in his 4 wins. So when he's getting his hand raised, chances are It's a jaw-dropping performance.
Oh, that was nice work by Marlon there.
Yeah,
Parried the jab, came in, 2 double lefts, closed the distance, got the clinch.
Seems to want to get in there and fight in the clinch.
Yeah, well, I guess
in round 1 he had control of Yadong.
If you've got the clinch, if you're in it close like that, in such close proximity, Song can't load up on those big, powerful punches. They're just little small ones on the inside.
A couple of nice right crosses for Yadong with the direct connection.
There you go.
Vera, as always, showing the toughness. He'll walk right into the fire.
Yeah, doesn't seem to be too worried. You gotta be careful though, because as he's stalking him, Yadong's just sliding back and landing some good combos.
Nice kick to the body there from Vera. Each one to the body. Combinations from Song.
These guys are letting it go here. Man, Song is swinging here.
Him on the way out.
Yeah, Song is swinging with everything he's got. I tell you, there's some chin on Marlon because he's taking some heavy shots clean on the chin.
Still advancing is Marlon Vera as Song looking for those counter strikes and tries to put together another combination.
Oh, nice left hook there from Song.
Uriah Faber has said he believes Song Yadong is the future of the sport with how great he is. Just 22 years old. This is his 21st professional MMA appearance. And probably no better training to find for guys of his size than Team Alpha Male in Sacramento.
That was a nice one too. Both guys having a lot of success here. Both guys landing. But Song, you know, he's landing the cleaner, heavier shots.
And just throwing more. He's busy. He's moving back a lot. He's throwing a lot of combos.
Impressive, and then a knee on the way in, but just the chin of Song who forces the clinch, and now Vera reverses position.
Attack the legs. Attack the legs. There you go. Again. There you go. Beautiful. Just keep pounding his leg. Yeah, keep him here. There you go. Stay busy.
That's good work. Just keep kneeing those knees, or the thighs, pardon me.
That leg. Head position. Heavy on that head.
Slow down the movement.
Firefight along the fence.
A fight in a phone box with elbows.
My
kind of fight as well. Look at this.
Now they return to the center. No slowdown in the action though, as we're under a minute to go in round 2.
No, and that's the thing about Vera. He stays so calm and moves forward. You don't ever really see him slow down because of that. He doesn't overexert himself. And you see Yadong putting everything into these shots.
Song put together a real nice combination there. Marlon's looking for the knees.
Oh, wow, a nice counter right.
Much more even in this second round.
Nice body shot.
Nice work.
That was a heavy body shot. Song felt that one.
Back in the tie clinch. Final seconds here, round number 2. And these two are still swinging big. But we'll get to a third round. It comes up after this. Let's go. Third and final round. Look at Vera go right across the octagon.
That was awesome, but Perillo said busy,
Yeah.
which is absolutely right. I mean, listen, it was a very busy second round, but whoever wins this will win this round with a higher output.
Yeah, I agree with you, Mike. They got to get busy, and both guys met right in the middle. But
there you go, buddy.
Vera's had success in here. He landed a beautiful knee right on the buzzer. I wouldn't say that it was a knee.
That's huge.
Oh,
right into. Well, half guard.
Almost into mount, Brendan. Yeah, almost.
Almost into mount. Got a little excited there. That was beautiful.
I think this is best case scenario from in the guard. He can land ground and pound here because Song will scramble so crazy, especially working with Team Alpha Male and Uriah. If you leave him a space to underhook and pop his hip back out, he will.
Well, I think Marlon has an advantage in the jiu-jitsu here. But he's got to go to work. He's got to make this position pay. He's got him down, got him where he wants. He's on top. He's got the advantage. Good shots.
Here's where his reach can come into play and use it to his advantage as well.
Marlon Vera is a black belt in jiu-jitsu. He's got 8 wins by submission, 5 different techniques of those 8 stoppages by tap outs.
Real nice work by Song here, though. Back to the feet. Control the head. Oh! Rip the body big time there.
There you
So a nice first 90 seconds of round number 3 for Chito Vera. And now Song trying to put it together. He's got that quick 1-2, Paul.
Yes, Vera doing a good job of you know, hand fighting them and blocking a lot of these punches and moving forward. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Song attempt his own takedown to get that back here in this 3rd round, especially in a round that's going to mean so much to the outcome of this fight.
Marlon does a real good job of doing an advancing knee with the left leg. Kind of feints it and then throws a good jab. He's landed it many times.
Song's background is in striking. Started training in Kung Fu when he was 9 years old and realizes that he needs to get as good on the ground as he is on the feet. Started trying to find a home for some of these punches here with under 3 minutes to go.
Yeah, and Song's starting to land some combos here.
This is a really close fight, though.
Nice left toss.
1-2-5 right now. 1-2-5-2. 1-2-5-2.
2.5 to go. Oh, man. Counter combination on the way out for Song.
I tell you what, Marlon's got some chin because every time Song throws, you can hear the impact. It's just a sickening thud.
Ooh, yeah, like right there.
Yep.
Wow,
He comes in with the uppercut.
Song is really starting to land here.
Look at that.
Coming up with a knee to the body.
So short.
Kick down low for Vera. Song swinging on the other side.
Yeah, Vera's landing here too. Both guys going back and forth, just eating punches. Nice 1-2 there for Vera.
Real nice work. Knee up the middle.
Exhausting pace here in round 3 as well.
I mean, at this point, this is just a dogfight. Both guys are very, very evenly matched. They've both got the same will to win. They're basically evenly matched, and it's just, okay, we're going to stand there, and someone's going to fall down, and we're going to see who it is first.
Nice knee to the body. Oh, uppercut.
90 seconds to go now. Nice. Neither of these fighters have ever been finished.
That's crazy.
There's something got to give here in the final 120 to go.
80 seconds hard. Let's go. Song works. Suck it up. Let's go.
Each of these guys has landed more than 100 total strikes through about 14 minutes.
Yes.
Real nice trip. Great work.
You got 1 minute. Go.
Second takedown of round number 3 for Vera.
That's definitely going to get in the 3rd round with the 2 takedowns.
Let's go. Get up.
The first 2 rounds are very close, though.
Oh,
man.
Now return. Keep it tight.
Vera is in incredible shape to be able to push the pace that he's pushing right now. Elbow.
Song is still there, throwing hard as well.
Nice.
Look at that. Yeah, real nice work.
Dominant position with 30 seconds to work here for Chito.
Chito showing his slick submission skills.
Real nice work. He's almost in mount if he steps over.
Excuse me, grappling skills, not submission skills.
Same thing. I got you.
That's the same thing, right?
It's the same thing.
Final 15 seconds here.
Elbow. Look at that. 2 good shots. Tremendous work by both men.
Yeah, Song has got a, man.
Well, what a 15 minutes of action, and unofficially the most amount of significant strikes each of these guys has ever landed. And one more as Chito going a little acrobatic on the end. It's time for Step Up with Boost Mobile. Paul, you gotta love the action from bell to bell there.
Oh my goodness, these guys are going back and forth. Here's that nice left elbow from Rivera, right in the middle, that boom, jab, right down the pipe. Both guys trading back and forth. Yadong had his moments too, just cracking Chito. Oh, big swing and a miss. But in this clinch is where he was doing his best work. Look at that. Oh my goodness. This was the whole 3rd round, back and forth. Big body shot. Mike noticed that one, that left hook to the liver, and ultimately gets this takedown here as well. That was clutch going into this 3rd round. And Vera.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for decision. All 3 judges score this contest 29-28 for the winner by unanimous decision, Song Yadong.
All right, you ready, sir? You ready, sir?
All right, grateful to have you with us tonight. This Fight Clock is sponsored by Sweet Girl, starring Jason Momoa and Isabella Merced, coming soon to Netflix. Song Yadong in white, Casey Kenny in black. Song landed an early body kick. Houston faithful trying to get behind the American Casey Kenny early on.
And you know, we're all filled with so much pride right now. The Olympics are going on, people going crazy.
Yeah.
The moment an American steps in there, they start cheering USA. A lot of great performances out there in Japan. The U.S. basketball team, Allison Felix, 11 medals now, most in USA track and field history.
Look at this guy, man. What else you got down there?
It's been fantastic watching these Olympic Games, John. And just the fights are at the right time. More excitement in my life.
In this particular matchup, these guys are going to stand in. They're going to have moments where they just trade, and that's what makes this fight so fun, because they don't have the real dodgy style. They counter after they get touched, and they counter with power. So somebody's getting knocked out in this fight, I think.
Both guys just landed power shots in that exchange.
And that's the thing about Casey Kenny, right? He'll be in your face, man. He wants to pressure you. He wants to land and stay going forward. And you know Song Yadong, because of some of the knockouts that he's had, is more than willing to stand and trade.
Well, P3, the official protein snack of the UFC, is giving fans the chance to win a trip to the Octagon and more. Visit P3PackAPunchSweeps.com to learn more. Nice read defensively there by Casey Kenny. 3 minutes to go in the round. Body kick for Song Yadong.
Can't take many of those if you're Casey Kenny.
Got to be first, not laughing.
Yeah. And Dom, that's what we talked about earlier, right? And as you go up the card, the skill level raises.
Yep.
So when you see that window open, Song Yadong, being the fighter that he is, will blast those body kicks.
Casey Kenny, former two-division LFA champion at flyweight and bantamweight, and he landed a nice right counter there behind the ear of Song Yadong.
Kenny continues to switch stances, really making it difficult for Song Yadong to find his reads.
Both guys with visible body damage here 3 minutes in.
Song's showing really good footwork, too. He's moving well. He's not just standing in the pocket like he's done in some other fights. He's moving well, and he's having Casey Kenny chase him.
At times, he's been so boxing heavy, too, Dom, where he's like trying to land the right hand. This time, he's throwing kicks. He's moving off the angles.
He's doing a really good job pulling Casey Kenny into damage right now.
Left hand is there for Song Yadong.
Oh, Song Yadong looks sharp right now, man.
He's a little ahead right now, throwing heavier shots, and he's landing a little bit more. And you got Casey Kenny just a little step behind trying to chase.
There he is. Now he's trying to play. Look at that, Dom. He's trying to play the game, right? He's trying to draw, like you said, pull him into him so he can let the right hand fly. When Casey gets closer, look at him level change. Drop. Oh, nice. Oh, beautiful by Casey.
Yeah, that was a nice step over to get that top position.
Nice step over.
And this is his favorite choke. He's so good with this front choke. Song's right on it, gets the hand control.
Right away, he attacked those hands, man.
But there's one thing about Alpha Male, though, is they got a lot of guillotiners, so he's seen a lot of people on his head.
Yeah, for sure. He's dealt with defending guillotine chokes in that room.
Yep. Casey Kenny probably will have a tough time getting that guillotine, but he's got some nice, that's his best weapon for sure in his submissions.
And Casey's constantly going forward, constantly moving into Song Yadong. And it'll be on Song to try to maintain that pace of backing up the whole time over the course of 15 minutes. It gets increasingly difficult as the rounds go on.
Yeah, Casey keeps a good pace moving forward. He really doesn't take a lot of steps back. He's like a juggernaut style.
Late right hand for Song Yadong. Kenny now to the body. Competitive first round as expected. Tonight's Corner Cam is brought to you by second round here. Kenny
You ready, sir?
And Song,
Let's go, fight.
John Crouch, Chris Carriasso in the Casey Kenny corner believe that Song Yadong is starting to slow down a little bit. We shall see.
It's very difficult to just run away the whole time. Allow a guy to just constantly pressure into you. At some point, you got to stand your ground. And you would think that would be easier for a guy like Song Yadong, who possesses that type of power at bantamweight.
Nice inside leg kick for Kenny, trailing on the significant strike numbers thus far. Tonight's social media posts are sponsored by Sweet Girl, starring Jason Momoa and Isabella Merced, coming soon to Netflix.
Nice body shots by Song there, and a counter right hook from Kenny.
Song Yadong has certainly invested in the body tonight, as has Casey Kenny. He's attempted more body shots, just not quite as accurately.
Watch your fingers, watch your fingers.
I mean, I don't know a lot of fights that we've seen Song back up this much, to be honest. He's always moving forward, and in this fight, they're so similar in that I really believe the one who keeps the forward pressure is probably who's going to end up getting the least tired.
That's a credit to Casey Kenny. You know, Casey's constantly on the gas. He's right in his face the whole time. And not only is he in his face, he's throwing stuff the whole time.
Well, Crypto.com offers the world's most popular crypto card. Spend with the Crypto.com Visa card and get up to 8% back.
At the same time, Song's up on the strikes, I think, by a small portion. He's landed a little bit more, but he is moving back.
Well, that's one thing Song is doing that Casey isn't right now, is he's going to the body. So when he throws extended combinations, he'll finish with 2 shots down low opposed to headhunting.
Nice combination by Song there. He's throwing punches and bunches, and that's what's supporting him right now against Kenny. 1 or 2 at a time. Kenny can handle that, but when you start piecing it together, it's hard to dodge.
Casey doesn't need to load up, though. He's loading up on the right hand, like that, right? He's trying to load up to hurt him when he should just let everything go. Just like... These guys are fast, man. I haven't seen that speed before in my entire life. These guys are fast. Dom, that comes at you every single fight.
Yeah,
speed like that.
I don't gotta deal with heavyweight power things like that. My head going to the bleachers.
Yeah, that is a thing. We saw Alistair Overeem's head get sent to the moon.
Pretty good entry from Casey Kenny, unable to take Song Yadong down. Opened or closed, I should say, as a pick'em. Song now the betting favorite on the live number, under 2 now in the round.
And that's another thing you develop at Alpha Male. Great takedown defense. Because those cats are trying to wrestle you down to the ground.
Song's also doing a really good job attacking the body with the kicks. Not just his hands, but the kicks too. And it's a smart game plan because Casey Kenny does well when you attack his head with his counters.
This is when Casey should get going now. Song's not as bouncy. He's not moving as much. Casey needs to cut him off and let his hands go.
He's throwing it right at the right time to get Kenny to kind of step back, though. Right when he gets within range, Song throws. He's not just backing up the whole time. He's also countering at the right time. And I think that Kenny's following a little bit too much. He needs to head off instead of follow.
Significant strike advantage for Song in rounds 1 and 2. His timing has been near perfect on his body strike execution. 15 of 15 unofficially.
But every time he kicks the body, Kenny tries to return with an inside low kick. I mean, that's the best you could do, right? Give him something back after you land.
Ooh, nice left hand there for Kenny.
Yep. Yadong unable to land the right hand. That left hand of Kenny got Song's attention.
2 good left hands there by Casey.
forward. Yadong's getting him to punch just a little too soon, and that's why he's coming up short. Then that allows Yadong to counter. I can't say Yadong without
that's what I was
giggle.
gonna say.
I want to giggle every time I say
Song Yadong the whole time.
But he's countering beautifully because he's getting Kenny to punch a little too soon.
Thank you, Dean.
And the reason Kenny's
I literally was just thinking the same thing.
The reason Kenny's punching too soon is because he's chasing a little bit too, as Dean said. He's punching too soon, trying to force offense on Song, but he's got to get his feet under him just a little sooner.
Nice little check hook there by Song Yadong.
Well, they're asking for a jab on his team side, and he's landing those jabs now. He's just sticking that jab out there. They believe he can fire that jab faster than Kenny.
There it is, Kenny with a nice little slap right hand.
Beautiful body kick from Kenny.
I think Casey might be starting too soon, right, Dom? When he's just not quite in range when he starts his combination. So by the time he ends it, Song's already moving away from him.
Yeah, Song's just doing a little bit of a better job sliding in and out of range and being in the right place to counter. And while Kenny's being very offensive and doing his job, he, like everybody said, he's just a little bit soon, just a touch too soon without getting his feet underneath him, so he's kind of reaching.
Yeah.
Never up old character since 1872.
But I mean, the fight hasn't slowed down even an inch.
No.
These guys have kept a constant pace the whole fight.
One time I said Casey Kenny got tired in a fight on Fight Island. And he told me about it in the airport. But I'll tell you this right now, this dude has not slowed down. He's not fatigued. He's in fantastic shape. And he's continuing down the avenue of trying to get a victory. When Song Yadong's probably fighting the best fight he's had in his UFC career.
And Song's pace has not waned. Landed a bruising right hand there. Under 3 minutes now to decide this one.
Body shot landed,
Yeah,
nice.
oh!
Nice head kick there for Kenny.
Looked like maybe it was the knee that connected, but...
If he could have got the hip through, man, you go to sleep if you catch that knee and that hip gets through. Right there, right? You see how he kind of pulls it? It's almost like training, right? When you're about to land a real good head kick, you pull it back. He pulled it back. If he would have kicked through, he would have really, he might have knocked Song out.
Those are some of the bigger landed strikes tonight.
Yeah.
Those head kicks. Ooh, that was a nice one too, though.
Good jab from Kenny.
What a matchup, these two.
Oh, that was a nice body shot, left hook combo.
Nice way to open up this main card.
Strike distribution. Both fighters just mixing it up beautifully tonight as we go under 2 minutes here in this third and final round. 86-58 on these significant strike numbers unofficially right now for Song.
This last minute of this fight's gonna be fun to watch. They're gonna go hard.
Good counter left from Kenny after Song Yadong landed a jab and now goes back to the well with that body kick. One minute to go.
Good sprawl by Song there.
His takedown defense has held up when tested tonight. Good connection there by Kenny. Covers up as Song Yadong presses forward. Well, he ain't Edson Barboza, but he gets that foot to the target pretty quickly. What a fight.
Yeah, this is a fantastic fight.
They haven't stopped throwing and moving this
It's crazy
fight,
how quickly this feels like it's gone.
Nice double. Wow. What a timing on that shot. To finish strong like that is huge.
Massive.
Wow.
All right, so Casey Kenny and Song Yadong go the 15-minute distance. Both fighters seemingly believe they have done enough to get the win. Get you some highlights. Now this fight replay is brought to you by Nemerov Bold Characters since 1872.
Right here you see Casey Kenny throw a nice little check right hook there. Started to kick, the knee lands. Another straight left hand. Left hand straight for Casey Kenny. Really good round for Casey Kenny in round 3.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. Kerry Hatley scores the contest, 29-28, Kenny. Sally Amata scores the contest, 29-28, Yadong. And Chris Lee scores it, 30-27, for the winner by split decision, Song Yadong!
To the youngest fighter on the fight card today, Song Yadong. This fight clock is brought to you by the United States Marine Corps. And perhaps fitting to have a fighter like Song Yadong on the card with Max Holloway. Holloway, 25th UFC appearance today at 29 years old. This is already his 9th UFC appearance for the 23-year-old from China.
Yeah, that's impressive. Always getting better, still working in the gym with Team Alpha Male.
Well,
powerful on the feet, good wrestling.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, taking yourself out of China and coming out to America, training at American top team. Not that I'm saying, you know, you have to do that, but it just shows a commitment to your craft. It shows that you want to be as best as you possibly can be. Team Alpha Male, this kind of weight class, a great place to be. There's that right hand. Whew. I mean, there's a lot of power in that. He throws it with nasty intentions.
And against a southpaw, sorry,
Yeah,
that's going to be his main weapon against Arce, who's in the southpaw stance.
Absolutely. Control the foot battle. Keep your foot on the outside, swing the right hand, left hook, classic combination. Arce's yet to show anything. He's taking some reads. A little fake jab there. Didn't really plan on landing that one. That's just more throwing it out there. That one landed though.
Second appearance in the last 4 months for Arce after he was out for more than a year and a half. He wants to stay busy, wants to get 3, maybe 4 fights in 2022, but he knows first things first is a really tough test against a ranked opponent, and perhaps his avenue to the rankings is a big victory today.
Yeah, listen, if he can go out there and get a victory over somebody like Song Yadong, I mean, it says, I've arrived, I'm here, I'm a contender. I mean, yeah, he's not one of the top guys in the division, but he's a well-respected opponent that's been in there with the likes, as we said, as Marlon Chito Vera. Oh, there he is going to work now. Great head movement, though, by Arce.
Now you got him against the cage. He can't touch you. Fix the kick in there.
The corner of Arce screaming out, he can't touch you. I don't know about that.
Yeah, I'm not so sure.
Maybe not the best advice.
Arce looking to ride the wave of momentum out of his gym, Tiger Schulman's in New York, home of Shane Burgos, who got a really gutsy victory last week in New York City.
Yeah, that was a tremendous fight
Great
against
fight.
Billy Q. I mean, come on. The only problem there was that
Unfortunate card placement for
Chandler
those two.
and Gagey went
Yeah.
first, and that just blew the roof off the arena.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, everyone had to take a break. But then when you look up and you look at the fight, it was sensational. It's like, why aren't the crowd making more noise? It's like, well,
They're tired.
they've only got so much to give. Shout out Justin Gagey and Michael Chandler, by the way. Thank you for that fight, because that's what this sport is all about. Incredible stuff. But anyway, back to this one.
Final 2 minutes, round 1. Chess match on the feet so far. Song Yadong's signature performance. We talked about the right hand. There it is as he moves forward with a combination. And he shut the lights out on Alejandro Perez back in the summer of 2019. That's certainly his most noteworthy victory thus far.
Yeah, Song did a good job of using that right hand to close that distance and then land it flush with that left hook over the top.
Yeah, Song's taking his time, but he's doing a good job of cutting off the cage, forcing him backwards. And then when he does explode, he looks dangerous.
Nice body kick.
Oh,
man.
Fired right back.
Heating up.
Come on. Outside the power. Good stuff down the middle.
And Song Yadong will use that right kick to his advantage quite a bit. Attacks really hard with it to the body, and that's going to be a great weapon as well for him, facing Arce in the southpaw stance again. Right hand, right kick, and those are both Song's strongest weapons.
As we know, though, for Arce being in the southpaw, if he throws the same kick,
Oh, yeah.
the power kick, that's hitting the liver. That's it hurts a lot more. The speed of those kicks from Song.
Yeah, it's so fast.
Very fast.
One step and then go. Make it a miss. There we go.
But as we saw in Julio Arce's last fight too, he takes his time, he makes a lot of reads, and then he turns it on. And when he found the moment, when he found the chin of Andre Ewell, that was it, wobbled him immediately.
Round 2's coming up after this. Next Saturday, 2 of the Bantamweight division's best jockey for title contention, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt Ketlin Vieira faces female mixed martial arts pioneer Misha Cupcake Tate. Main card starts at 6 p.m. Eastern, prelims beforehand at 3 Eastern, noon Pacific, ESPN+.
I gotta say, I really enjoyed the corner work there in the corner of Julio Arce. Very, very real and matter of fact. He said, listen, you know, you lost that one, let's be honest. But then Julio's like, this is the round. This is where I go to work. This is where I'm going to step on the gas.
And he is already off the bat, Michael. You see he comes out way more aggressive, throws a head kick, throwing more hands. And again, that seems to be how Julio Arce likes to work. He likes to make reads. Some guys, I don't want to say they throw a round away, but they take a minute to get adjusted, to figure out what's coming at me, what reads can I make, and how can I counter?
Yeah, and listen, you spend 5 minutes in there, you know you can hang, you haven't just been outclassed, you haven't been knocked out, you didn't land anything significantly. However, you didn't really do much in terms of offense either. So now it's like, okay, all right, I let that one slip by me, you know, that one slipped into the back of the net, but now I've got to take control of this fight, you know, because at the end of the day, it is a fight. You know, it's not all about defending, you know, you've got to be offensive as well. He's off to a good start here in this minute, but still both guys, they're very evenly matched in terms of speed, striking ability, everything. Neither man really thinking about a takedown. It's a kickboxing match on the feet, and they're kind of going tit for tat. There we go.
Oh,
he's wobbled now.
There it is. There's
Song hard on the pressure. Puts him out.
Wow.
Good. Song Yadong returns to the knockout win column. What a performance that was. Second round stoppage and a ferocious attack for Song Yadong.
A ferocious attack indeed. They said they were going to go to work in round 2, but I think it was Song that got off. That head kick was the beginning of the end. He was wobbled there. There's a big right hand. Another one sits him down. And Herb Dean went in there, but he kind of missed him. He kind of stumbled over the leg of Arce, bless him. So Song got a couple more in, but look at that. He even kind of blocked it with the forearm, but the power, it still gets through, still connects with the neck, and still wobbles him. Beautiful finish. Great job, Song Yadong.
I mean, the highlights this guy has put together.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes officially 1 minute, 35 seconds. Round number 2. We have your winner by TKO, Song Yadong!
Plus 240. Song Yadong minus 305 as the favorite. Well, right to the action. This fight clock is brought to you by Proper Number 12 Irish Whiskey. Song Yadong was 19 years old when he got into the UFC. He was 19 when he showed up at Team Alpha Male in Sacramento, California. He was off and on there, would go back to China between fights. But over the last 2 years, he has been consistently at that gym.
And that's crucial. Oh my goodness, there's that right hand. There's the left kick from Marlon.
Wow, right hand nearly sat Marlon Moraes down. And Song is on the prowl here. Stutter step.
That right hand is getting through, even though Marlon's guard is high. He's got to address that right hand of Yadong. It's a nice left hook, but
He's throwing power shots, just got out of there. Oh, stiff jab from Magic Marlon Moraes.
You see Marlon staying a little more focused here. Trying to stay relaxed. Song Yadong throwing big combos.
So quick. Song is off of a November victory over Julio Arce in the second round. Got him back in the finish column. Good sign if you're Marlon Moraes to be able to take shots like that, to be in it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Song Yadong is a problem.
You got to be. I mean, this
with
kid,
the co-main event spotlight and a quick right hand that shuts the lights out.
That right hand is lightning fast. It is accurate, and Song Yadong is a new contender for sure. Look at this. Right over the top, clips right behind the ear, takes the equilibrium. Look at that uppercut, Brendan. Folds him down. Doesn't even need a follow-up. Look at this. Absolutely beautiful right uppercut from Song Yadong. Let's take one more look at it. And he's just ripping combos, going to the body, going back upstairs. Phenomenal performance from the young Song Yadong.
Song Yadong now has 8 wins by knockout.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes officially 2 minutes, 6 seconds, round number 1. Your winner by KO, Song Yadong!
All right, gentlemen, we've been over the rules. Protect yourself at all times. Follow my instructions. We're gonna keep it clean. Touch gloves, let's do it.
They had to wait 1 extra week. They get 2 extra rounds. Song Yadong and Ricky Simón scheduled for the co-headliner last week. Now they're shifted to the main event here tonight.
Ready, let's fight.
This fight clock is brought to you by Toyo Tires, official tire of the UFC. Ricky Simón, the small favorite, is in the white. Song Yadong is in the black. Simón very much known as the grinder. He has landed 14 takedowns in a single UFC fight. That was with 3 rounds to work. He says he'll get better with having 5 rounds. The cardio, not an issue for him.
Back in those hands.
Ricky Simón showing a lot of respect for Song Yadong. Not really charging in there like he normally does. Song is building his reads right now. Trying to figure out how he wants to approach this challenge.
Simón also trying to get his mind ready for this 5-round pace as well. So I think we're seeing a little bit of a different patience out of him. Got a long fight.
For a leg, and that's the first strike thrown by Song Yadong, the leg kick. One of the few blemishes on the record of Ricky Simón came against Uriah Faber, who's in the corner of Song Yadong, when he just, I think, made a rookie mistake, even though he wasn't a rookie, but he just kind of charged in there, didn't really respect the power on the other side. Perhaps more calculated as he looks to throw himself in the fire here.
Absolutely, in Sacramento too. You know, all the recipe for just a very difficult victory, and Uriah Faber kind of steamrolled him there. But Ricky Simón, as he has said time and time again, he doesn't lose, right? He gets chances to learn, and that was a chance to learn.
So you stance switch, and Song claps the body.
You could tell Yadong's team knows that Ricky shoots after that right hand because they're looking for that back knee right up the middle. You saw Song land the calf kick and then come with the right knee. He's looking to time that right knee when Ricky changes levels. That's why he's sitting and waiting for Ricky right now. He wants to meet him at that level change.
Fingers up.
He's looking for an uppercut or a knee, something to scoop Ricky Simone's head up when Ricky changes level. That's what you can see out of Yadong right now.
Bit of a layoff ending for each of these fighters since they were last in action. For Song Yadong, it was a main event against Corey Sandhagen right here at the Apex last September. That was called after the 4th round because of a cut above the left eye of Song Yadong that was pretty gnarly. It took him a month to heal up from that and get back to training. For Ricky Simone, it was Long Island last July when he took out Jack Shore. Clinch along the fence. First time tonight they lock up.
That was a beautiful double jab right hand landed for Ricky Simone. Song tried to get a little more aggressive, and Ricky dove into the clinch.
How about Song here?
He's doing a really good job of controlling that clinch.
Simone reverses position and shakes him off. 90 seconds to go, round 1. Oh, big clubbing right hand from Simone.
And that's, both of them have a super good right hand, and they're both going to be dodging that the whole fight from one another. Simone lands the first right hand, though.
A smile after eating the leg kick from Song.
I think when you look at Song, I think he believes he checked it and hurt Simone on that one.
Yep.
1 minute. Yeah, he's biting on it.
Oh, quick left from Song that time.
When Song Yadong explodes into his strikes, he is so fast. He gets right in your face. Simone right now is level changing every time. He's got to be very careful that Song doesn't throw a knee up there, right up the middle.
And he may have overheard the Team Alpha Male corner of Song Yadong. I think Simone's starting to bite on some of these feints. Perhaps it provides an opening. 25 seconds to go in the first round.
There it is. Good. All good. Hands up. Keep scoring with that low kick.
Ooh, big swing and a miss twice. There will be no commercial breaks. Native Vancouver, Washington, but he's been working with Colin Oyama the last several fights, and it has paid off. Fernando Padilla out of that camp tonight as well, getting the big win over Julian Arosa a few fights ago. Song believes he found an opening. He's kicking and a little trash talk as we start round 2.
That jab is going to be huge for both these gentlemen because they're so good at landing and finding that power shot. A jab will really help them find one another. Especially because they're close to the same height.
Don, you surprised at all? Only 2 takedown attempts from Simone in the first round, didn't land any of them.
Not surprised at all because it's a 5-round fight. You got to be careful with your energy expenditure for 5 rounds, especially against a guy like Song.
Also the fact that Song just defended it so well.
Yeah.
Right? That was much harder than...
Hurt him bad. Song Yadong trying to pause here. Guillotine attempt from Song with Simone locking his hands. And he's out of it. Turns into a takedown for Simone.
That was just a beautiful transition for Simone there. You have to give credit to him because he got hurt, he got rocked, and then dropped down to a double at the perfect time when you saw Yadong attack. You got to change levels in those situations.
All right, we're seeing... Oh, wow. Okay, so that knockdown, as it were, that was a clash of heads as they came together. We just saw on our replay monitor here in the booth. And we just saw a no contest last week after a fight-ending sequence between Bobby Green and Jared Gordon. And then Kelvin Gastelum had a clash of heads against Chris Curtis in round 2, which perhaps played an influence in the judges' scorecards. Nonetheless, we play on here, 3 minutes to go.
Yeah, we just saw the clash of heads with Bobby Green as well recently in the last card. So that happens all the time. These guys were able to keep it together. Nice reffing.
Big left hook coming.
Oh, body work, Song Yadong.
Song throws so hard. His punch, he is not holding anything back. When he gets in the range and he lets his hands go, he is throwing to try to finish Ricky Simón every time.
That exchange with the head clash led to the only takedown of the fight for Simón, but of course not a lot of ground control time. Oh, now Song sits onto that left hand.
That was a beautiful setup. He went right hand to the body first, then he come back with the left hook.
Song's found his mark. He's found the timing of Simón in this round. He's landed a lot more, and not just landing, he's landing significant strikes.
Yeah.
And you're seeing the teep kicks start to land. That's setting up the power shots. He's using the teep kicks as the jab to find his range against Simón.
And discourage Simón from level changing. He keeps showing him things up the middle.
He's also showing that knee and then going to a southpaw right hook, left overhand. That one right there, very clean. He shows the knee to stop Simón from going underneath his punch, and then he follows it up from a southpaw stance. It's very creative.
Ooh, they come together again. Song walking him back to the fence.
Great balance by Song on these punches as well. He's keeping his balance, not falling over at all.
He never overthrows, D. He just throws it from the right position.
Final minute, round 2.
Speed. 45 seconds. Load it up. Good. Hey, don't read. Don't read. Don't be there. Look at that speed. There you go. Have some
Came close with the counter, now he goes left hand to the liver.
Those body shots are hurting. Every time Simón gets caught along the fence and he starts to lose him, he doesn't go to the head, he goes to the body. Simón's gonna have to do something to get some respect, to get this guy from just walking him down. That'll help.
You called it, DC.
More takedowns. It'll help Ricky Simón.
Top half, and Simón trying to score here in the final seconds, as is Song Yadong from bottom position with some hammer fists. How about that for a frantic exchange? ESPN Plus pay-per-view in the US and UFC.com/PPV everywhere else. Third round underway. And after being an even money underdog, Song Yadong has swelled to being a favorite at near -300 after 2 rounds.
One thing Ricky's doing really well too, nice shot down the pipe. But what he's been doing so well is not backing straight up. Ricky's always going laterally, side to side. He's not going in straight lines. That's really helping him so far with setting up those shots as well.
3-2 from Song that time. We're at the corner of Ricky Simón, tell him that they believed he'd be able to get a takedown, and that time his left hand got too low.
Ouch.
Not a body shot. It was below the belt. Yikes.
On the money.
You rarely see that from a punch. Luckily, Simón
right over here, right there,
appears to be dealing with it well.
Song, there. You ready? Okay. Hold on, stop. We're right there. I know you came down.
After a break of under 1 minute, action will resume.
Keep touching with the jab. They don't open up, Song.
Use that double jab. Use that too. He's about to load up. Good guard. Bring him in.
Fake the knee. Hey, fake the knee when he's sliding back like that. Now bring the hands afterwards.
He gets close. So call you out. Stay in position. Looking good, bro. Don't chase with the right hand. Use the jab, Ricky. Use that jab. Let's hang on.
Bit of a chess match going on the feet right now. 90 seconds into round 3. Step in from Simone that time.
Right there. Good. Hit it when you go. You're looking good. Good guard. Let you go. Nice, patience.
Simone punching into a takedown attempt. Song was ready for it.
He telegraphed that one a little bit. You can see him starting to level change. Song started to defend before Ricky even got down into a stance to shoot. Showed that one far too early.
I think Song knows that Simone pretty much is just looking for the takedown behind the hands. It's not really like throwing the hands just to land the hands.
Yes.
And so it's keeping Song being able to just see that second piece of the transition.
And that's why he's not respecting the hands, because he's not throwing things to hurt him right now.
He's throwing it to set up the shot.
Yep.
Oh, I saw that again in round 2. What do you think he should do, Dom?
Well, he's doing that right there. Double jab, feint in, and then when when Song reacts, then time your shot. But you got to put two together. It's
And just
not
hit him
easy.
hard. You might just need to bite down on the mouth guard, throw a right hand with some intent to let Song Yadong know that I am going to tag you hard if you don't show me some respect and you stay in my face the entire time.
Eventually, you got to stand your ground and just let a
Yes.
nice six-punch combination go to the body and head, or ending with a high kick to show him I'm here to knock you out too. Something like that.
Well, because look at what Song's throwing.
Yep.
Right? He knows that he is under attack from the takedowns.
Left to a reaction from Simone, who circles away.
Bring him to you. Keep hurting him, Song.
Simone wore it well and recovered well, but that wobbled him for a moment.
I like the body work of Simone. That would really support him, just to keep faking up high and then go to the body of Song. Because that's what's landing for him. It's hard to hit Song in the head. He's having a tough time finding him.
And Song starting to find the timing a little bit when Simone enters. There's a combination that backed him up. Final minute of round 3.
I think we're going to see Ricky try to really pick up the pace in the next 2 rounds, if I'm going to be honest. I think that's part of the plan. It could be wrong, but if I'm Ricky, I'm kind of like looking at this style. He's kind of conserving a little for only 4 and 5, but I don't know.
Now he has to do something different.
Yeah, Song
because
is
if
strong.
I'm judging the fight, he's down 3 rounds to 0.
Yep, I agree. I mean, that's the only thing I could think of that he's believing is, okay, in the 4 and 5, I'm going to pick up the pace on the takedowns, maybe.
Got to do something.
And Song doing so well, moving forward and back, pressuring the right way, and really defending takedowns. Nice lean back by Simone, too. I mean, those leans aren't easy to time.
He's got great eyes. I mean, he's got great eyes.
Those aren't easy to
Watch
time.
your head. Stop.
We head to the main event rounds. Dean kind of dipped the crown of his head.
Hey, well, earlier it was a clash of head that dropped him.
Exactly, yeah.
Right, then you saw that one. Simone has a legit right to say, hey, man, we got to fix this.
And the other thing is you can't walk into the pocket with your chin up. So it's kind of a mixture of, this is a fight.
Coming up next, don't miss a recap of all the action from the Apex tonight. UFC Fight Night post-show is on ESPN+. Karen Bryant is in studio with Alan Jouban and Michael Chiesa to break down tonight's big results, plus Megan O'Leary interviews the big winners. That's only on ESPN+ coming up next. Flying knee for Simone. Oh, body shot from Song, who puts together a combination.
Song's boxing is sick, man.
Yes, all day.
Counter right hand from Song Yadong. Simone's corner asking him to continue to move forward and level change. There it is. And Song with a nice sprawl. Simone, second effort, backs him to the fence, but that's about it.
He did exactly what his coaches asked. They said when he defends takedown one, hit him with another one. This time he went 3 takedowns deep and none of them worked.
Keep scoring with the low kick. Keep flowing. His legs are busted up. Keep flowing. Keep flowing. Control that range. Good guard, brother. Bring something behind that.
And perhaps the grappling approach and preparation of Song Yadong going down to Austin, Texas is paying dividends now. He's been able to keep the fight where he wants it for the duration so far.
And again, look at how Ricky's circling instead of going straight back. He's trying to pull Song into something. I mean, Song's not biting though. He's staying balanced. He's doing a good job being prepared for what Ricky's trying to set up so far.
Yeah, Ricky's doing a good job of moving off the line.
Yep.
But Dominic, this is new, right? This is not the Ricky Simone that we're used to. Ricky Simone is usually the guy going forward. So what Song Yadong has done is pretty much changed the way that he approaches a fight by just pressuring him and moving forward into him and putting so much damage on him that he doesn't want to run the risk of taking anything too big because he knows Song Yadong's too powerful. When in reality, I feel he would have more success on the takedowns if he was more forward.
Shorter man generally wants to move forward, right, DC?
Yes.
In these fights with kicks and everything else.
The wrestling guy wants to be moving forward.
Yeah.
Ooh, nice. Big swings, nice counter from Song Yadong. 2 minutes to go, round 4.
Simone has done a good job this round, landing some jabs though. And honestly, all night his jab has landed because I don't know if Song respects it.
It's also not a full commitment to throw that jab, and it sets up his doubles. So the jab can get through. You just got to make sure you're stopping that double leg.
Yeah.
You don't want to eat the big shot. That was a good check by Simone on that one.
Nice slip from Song. Evading damage on the retreat that time, and then goes right back into the fire. And for Song Yadong, 13th fight in the UFC. Looks to be evolving, still just 25 years old. So deep in his fight career, long on experience. Without a doubt, China's best hope for a male UFC champion, and proven that he definitely belongs in this bantamweight Shark Tank in the top 10. Oh man, counter shot. And he's starting to draw out some big reactions from Simone.
Nice straight left there by Ricky Simone.
30 seconds. Bend the knees, watch the takedown.
Simone hanging in. He's stuck the jab a couple of times. But Song Yadong has absolutely stifled where Ricky Simone is best. Oh! Left hook sets him down right at the horn. The octagon side. Ricky Simone has his work cut out for him with 5 minutes to go. Needs a stoppage to keep his 5-fight win streak intact.
Corner told him as much too. You're gonna have to go hit this guy. You gotta get him out of there, Ricky.
With Dominic Cruz and Daniel Cormier, Brandon Fitzgerald, with you from the UFC Apex. Megan Levy, part of our crew tonight as well. Post-show is coming up next year from the Apex on ESPN+. Simone trying for a big comeback victory. And he lands a big right.
Simone's team knows he's got to land a big shot and get Song out of there. He's behind him. Oh, nasty right hand timed by Song.
And you wonder how recovered Simone was able to get with that 60 seconds.
as Song Yadong perhaps looks to pile on.
He's got the timing of Simone's jab, and now he's just throwing an overhand right over the top of it, clipping him in the ear every time he throws. See, every time. Oh! Followed it with
another left hook. Simone is down.
That was nasty.
Song Yadong pouncing on him. And he wobbles him again.
Shots.
That's going to do it.
Gave him a good shot to
in
finish,
the fifth round.
That was great wrestling.
Song Yadong is absolutely at home with the best bantamweights in the world. And what a response for Song Yadong. After his main event last time out, he was able to show grit and toughness. This time, he showed skill and the ability to put it away in the final rounds.
Yeah, right here you see Song Yadong landing a shot that puts him out. But watch here, guys. This right here, boom, another left hook that just starches Simone. I don't know if Ricky Simone ever recovered from that shot before the end of that other round. Look at him slip. Watch him come back with the left hook. Nasty. Right on the chin, drops Ricky Simone, jumps on him and gets the finish. Song Yadong needed to make a statement, and that is exactly what he did with that performance. He looked fantastic tonight.
And how about that to come in the fifth and final round? It's one thing to get a first round finish, catch your opponent, land the big shot. It's another to go into deep water.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes officially 1 minute, 10 seconds of round number 5. Referee Herb Dean puts a halt to the fight. For your winner by TKO, the Kung Fu Kid, Song Yadong!
Ready, fight. Yadong wants to get this done in one. Let's see how it goes down. Gutierrez in the yellow, Song is in the black.
I can't decide if that was gamesmanship or sportsmanship when he put his hand on Gutierrez's shoulder.
You know, like sun him. You know what I mean? Like, listen.
The Fight Clock is brought to you by Asgard's Wrath 2, only on MetaQuest. Straight to work is Song. He looks very relaxed tonight. First main event spots for Gutierrez on the back of his win over Allerton Haley.
It's a balancing act, though, for Song, right? You don't want to be too relaxed or overconfident. I mean, he said he trained like, you know, he was even more motivated than he would have been if it was someone like Petr Yan or something like that. But still, he's extremely confident. He's just got to be careful to not be too lax in there.
Not many fighters are willing to say this is going to be an easy fight because they know that it can make them look really silly if it goes the other way. But
well, he's full of confidence this week. A real superstar back in China. This Song is here to put on a show, keep that positive momentum of his going really strong. Double down on that win over Ricky Simone back in April. Currently has the second highest number of knockouts out of the active 135ers. So Song has power in those hands for sure. Gutierrez hits a lot of the stat leaderboards too. Very proficient striker, beautiful to watch, and clearly very hard to connect with.
Beautiful. I can touch the outside socks as well. It's southpaw, yes.
I need you to speed change though.
Slapping leg kick by Song. And a thudding one back from Gutierrez. Did the thudding ones hurt more, Paul?
Yeah, the ones that you don't really hear, the sound just kind of evaporates into that leg, into that muscle. Those are the ones that hurt. And you know what Chris Gutierrez does well is see how he uses a lot of these soft kicks, almost like a good boxer uses the feelers, kind of like how Roundtree did, where he pump faked a few shots, then threw the power. Chris Gutierrez does a great job of doing that with his legs.
yeah, and you heard Mark calling for, speed change. I need a speed change, and I think that's exactly what he's talking about.
Yep, right there.
Gutierrez told us about the changes he's made in camp. He said he got a little complacent with his skill level after that Frankie Edgar knockout. Incredible knee. But then Pedro Munoz told him, I was here in the fight. And it kind of scrambled his mind a little bit, went back to the drawing board, changed things up. Great response from him to put him in this position in the main event tonight. But he will need a career best performance to get past Song.
Yeah, he's getting fast-tracked, right? This is an opportunity that doesn't necessarily come to the number 15 ranked bantamweight or whoever or whatever division you're in. So this is an opportunity that he's really got to try to take advantage of. And so far, he's staying very relaxed. He's seeing a lot of these big, powerful shots coming from Song.
I like how Gutierrez is feinting the spin. He just did it there again. You can tell he's looking at either set up that spinning back fist or a spinning back kick. He's dexterous and capable of spinning on both sides, which not a lot of guys are.
Song hammering that lead leg of Gutierrez. Both of these guys favor those leg kicks. Real specialists in that department. But Song doesn't know about tempering his strikes like you're alluding to, but if he does, it's small percentages.
Yeah, there's power behind every one of the shots that Song is throwing. And he's, you know, for facing Gutierrez, we talk a lot about his leg kicks. Song is landing some very good leg kicks throughout this first round.
10 of 13 so far, Paul. 10 of 15 for Gutierrez. These guys going kick for kick.
Hey, go outside, go outside.
Hey, he's circling right into the power. Hey, bring the head kick. There you go, keep circling. There it is. Cut him off. Hook high, hook high. Good, there you go.
Since Song is throwing such big, powerful shots, good leg kick there.
Gosh.
He is missing a lot because everything is so powerful. Chris Gutierrez is seeing a lot of that coming. I'd like to see Song try to get behind his jab a little bit more and try to put some shots out there that necessarily don't have knockout power on him so he can close that distance and kind of relax Gutierrez into maybe allowing him to get closer. See, he's just backing way up.
Back in Las Vegas for our final UFC Fight Night of 2023. And we have a treat, these bantamweights.
Mark Montoya calling for a crackback off the kicks of Song. That means an immediate counter, usually in the form of hands.
Southpaw stance here for Gutierrez. He will switch between the two. He's been getting increasingly better at outboards in the striking exchanges with his last fights. At best yet, a +72 striking differential. So he will start to cook his opposition as the fight gets deeper.
That was an awesome front kick to the face from Gutierrez. Talk about a speed change.
It was so fast.
He got what he wanted.
I barely saw it.
Because he throws them out so easy, and then out of nowhere, it's like, doof, right in your face.
And you got to think back to the Corey Sandhagen fight for Song, because that was really what gave Song trouble, was the speed of Sandhagen, the stance switches. He just got a little bit hesitant and couldn't figure out how to close the distance, much like what is happening, at least so far in the fight, although Song still so powerful and dangerous.
Absolutely. But he is making him miss quite a bit.
Keep backing him up, Song. Need a crack back.
And they keep calling for Song to back him up, but you can tell he's getting enough back at him that he's hesitant to do that.
But Paul, isn't Gutierrez one of those fighters that fights really very well when he's going back?
That's how he fights, 100%. Yeah, you're right. That is how he fights.
Now we're fighting the rhythm.
So that's why it's, even if you pressure him, he welcomes it.
Yeah.
Read it.
And I mean, big main event here against a guy like Song, ranked number 7. He's really loose in there.
Yeah, he's really starting to find himself in there right now. The leg kick, the jab.
This is what Song's got to try to do. He's got to try to pin him up against the fence so he can start to let the boxing go.
Go to your tornado backing up to stop the pressure. There you go.
He has been reaching a bit with the fingers.
Yeah, okay, come here. So, you've been keeping your fingers open, reaching out. I know you're reaching at this. You're on time, right? Okay. You're reaching at this. Don't do it reaching towards the face. It's okay out here. Reaching for the hands. I know what you're doing, but that one went down the middle. Hey, over there, please.
Take your time, Song. You don't have to go right now.
Yeah, you're fine. You can take your time.
Keep that rhythm, baby. Keep that rhythm.
Yeah, Danny Castillo letting his fighter know you do have time. Don't rush this. They're not under pressure these days. Obviously, Herb Dean giving him the time.
See if Gutierrez can get back to his flow that he was in.
Here we go, circling the wrong way.
Hey, he's getting battle.
Hey, when he comes, you got the trap. That's your trap.
Good footwork there. Gutierrez circling away from the power side of Song.
His distance management is so good.
Didn't he tell us in the meetings, footwork is key, you die without it.
Yeah, and he's utilizing it beautifully tonight. Circling away, and not too far, right? He stays engaged. He's not running. There's a difference. Here's another one. He's gonna look for something up top. When he starts pump faking these kicks like that.
And Paul, correct me if I'm wrong, but being just out of range, not overemphasizing that movement will really help him if this goes into like 5 rounds.
Sorry, nice takedown here.
Gutierrez with an elevator and that butterfly guard, but Song is going to use his position to strike.
And I know Song is very well-rounded, and it's not his first time using takedowns, but the fact that he decided that that was the path right now shows to how frustrating Gutierrez was on the feet. But hey, this is a path to victory, and this, if Song can start finding success with takedowns, with using his ground control and ground and pound, that just shows you that he's a reason that he's #7 ranked bantamweight, right? You've got to be able to adjust. You might have wanted a knockout. You might have came here and wanted to knock him out, but maybe that's not what's in the cards for you.
And that's part of what makes Song so special, is that he has the ability he has a plan B, he's got a plan C, but right now, Chris Gutierrez, thinking awfully hard about setting up a triangle, trying to get that wrist of Song behind so that he can throw up his leg.
Not known for his submissions, but that might be a product of the fact that he gets his work done before it enters these ranges. On the feet, I should say.
Yeah, Mark actually mentioned that to me. He said, you know, don't discount his submission game. He's very tricky off his back. He's got good triangles, in fact, is what he said.
He only has one rear naked choke.
Your finger's inside the glove. You hooked inside the glove. This is a hard warning. Do not hook your finger inside like this. Come here. Come here.
He's going to give Song back that position, but a very stern warning there for Gutierrez. Back to action. Last 15 seconds of round number 2.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. He did.
It's a vet move.
He did. Oh, I mean, we'll do it in the gym, and I'll be strong ending there for Song.
3 pay-per-views slate next Saturday as one of the top pound-for-pound fighters in the world. Leon Edwards defends his UFC welterweight title against non-stop attack of Colby Covington. UFC 296 available to buy now on ESPN Plus pay-per-view in the US. UFC.com/pay-per-view everywhere else. Round number 3. Gutierrez versus Song. Song closes the distance early. Give him a little present on the break there, mixing it up.
Already working for him, right? Showing that in the first, in the second round, that I can take you down. He went for it. He gave it a true effort, and then it opened up opportunities upstairs to land a big shot.
1-1 over there in the eye post.
Hold on, let's cry about it for a second.
Once again, the fighter does have time.
Fuck you, whoever said that.
Ooh.
Just take some time right here.
Chris, he's getting frustrated with the crowd. I don't know if it's another fighter out there yelling at him, but he can't let that distract him right now. He's got to focus, clear the eye. I hate to see that, whoever it is.
I didn't hear it. What did they say?
So well, I mean, he used some language I won't use on air, but they said something about you won't get in here and fight me.
Oh.
You such and such. So you old so-and-so.
You old so-and-so, I was going to say.
So-and-so and such and such.
But he can't let that penetrate his mind right now.
Can I get a look at it?
And that is one of the, you know, it's one of the, I don't want to say downside, it's one of the just environmental issues here at the Apex.
You want to what,
You
Tal?
can be quiet at times.
Yep.
You're going to hear, if somebody wants to heckle you, listen, it's the fight game.
I like this. We're seeing the evolution of how the referees deal with these situations. There's now a little bit of towel so that Gutierrez can work on it. It's amazing what it can do to help clear your vision.
Yeah, for a long time they weren't really allowed to wipe their eye.
No.
Now they have a full 5 minutes and can have
Fighters
access
a chance, right?
Yeah.
Give them the best possible chance so that we can all enjoy a good fight at the same time. Back to action.
I love that pace.
There you go.
I love that pace.
And then go, and then set your trap when he comes. Yes, there it is. Hey, out the kick out, he's backing up. He's backing up in a straight line, John.
Just got him again with that front kick.
Hey, work laterally.
Song's corner pointing out that Gutierrez is tending to back up in a straight line there. I think they're asking for another level change here.
Now set it. Every time he misses, I need to crack back. Back back. Oh, he's reaching now. He's reaching.
So intimate here in the UFC Apex. You can hear the soles of the feet skidding around the canvas as these guys try and engineer an opportunity to really land something significant.
Barely missing. That's it.
Back to the jab for Song.
You gotta hit the face until he opens up.
Gutierrez sparking with his feints on the outside. Different looks, trying to keep Song guessing. Very intelligent fighter, however. Song not falling for a lot of the tricks.
I love the spin fake.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. And
Because
Mark's
you have to respect it,
been
right?
calling for it as well. He's been asking for the spin, I think. In the corner work in between rounds, he mentioned it as well.
Yeah, he said we need more spins, but I don't think he means actual spins. I think he means that, feint it, throw it every now and then, but just give that little hip turn backwards.
There. He's too slow.
Back body. It'll open up.
Hey, you can find Tango whenever you want to as well. You got 2 minutes.
2 minutes. Left to right, you gotta crack back there. Bring the hands right afterwards. 2 minutes,
I think you mentioned this earlier, Paul, but when Song Yadong gets behind his jab, he's much more capable of closing the distance against Chris Gutierrez. When he fights behind his jab and then puts the power behind that, it's much easier to close the distance. But when he stands there with his guard, I mean, he's got a very strong, consistent, educated guard, but it's hard to close in on a slick striker like Chris Gutierrez if you're not going to work behind that jab.
Yeah, he's got to put that jab in front. That's your front hand. That's your lead hand. That's what's going to close the distance. That's going to let you know you're at your range finder. And Gutierrez, he almost exclusively does that with his legs. He uses that lead leg as his jab, as his rangefinder. He kicks more than he punches.
Yeah, he does. He's got to be careful here, though.
Oh, boy.
Good ringmanship there from Song to corral Gutierrez into a position to unload.
Those moments where Song has Gutierrez trapped, Gutierrez has to be so careful and be really defensively sound, not just try to evade tall, because that's where Song can catch him.
Yeah, he is. He's finding his way out of there each time, though, so far at least.
That knee, we know that knee is good for Gutierrez.
Keep him backing up. There it is.
So fast.
You can see Song's got to try to almost anticipate the movement of Gutierrez. It's very lateral based, right? You know he's going to back up, prod the leg, poke, throw a big shot, and then he's going to try to, you have to anticipate which way he's going to go. You almost have to guess and anticipate, okay, he's going to go to my right, I'm going to throw this. Nice takedown. Or that. And then he can't laterally move.
A good takedown, but not a ton of time to capitalize on it.
Essentially a change in positions.
Yep.
But he can catch it only on a glass. Round number 4. That close relationship between Gutierrez and Coach Mark Montoya, ever fruitful in the career of Gutierrez, Paul. He had very specific instructions.
Yeah, he's saying if we're gonna play this counter game, what you've got to do is you've got to crack back. You've got to make him miss and then throw back. Too much, he's making him miss and then not throwing.
Song landed with that final left when he went searching. Spin from Gutierrez. Both these guys are turning it up to gas mark 5.
That's it!
Song playing it on here.
Intensity from Song.
Gutierrez covering up.
Looking for
triangle.
Crooked guard sets up.
Nice work.
Extinguished by Song. Back to the guard.
Watch the fingers. Watch your fingers.
Yeah, those fingers did find their way into the eye of Gutierrez.
Keep scoring.
Those are fine.
Keep the punch.
These guys are fighting hard out there now in the 4th round.
Hit him hard yet, son.
More risks are being taken.
Keep scoring down there. Easy fight. His hands on the mat. Easy fight.
Overhook, and use it.
He don't even want to get up. His guard's closed. That's perfect. Score.
The Team Alpha Male corner pointing out that Gutierrez is keeping his guard closed, which means that he's not necessarily looking to mount an offense. He's looking to stay safe and possibly, work for a stand-up here. He's not necessarily thinking about finding his angles and looking for offense at the moment. Oh, big elbow from Song.
That's what I'm using right there.
As he popped up, though, Laura, Gutierrez opened his guard and was perhaps trying to get something aggressive going.
Yeah, he's quick at throwing those hips up there, just hasn't had success with collecting the head and shoulder of Song yet.
And what he's got to do when he throws up those submissions, he is fast. He throws up that triangle, looking for arm bars, cutting angles with his hips. But if he's not successful and Song is smashing back down, he's got to use those opportunities while the guard is open to try to get space and get out.
Yeah.
He's got to use the submission to cause a little bit of a scramble, and then from there, work his way out.
Attack that. Knock it over.
You're halfway. Chris, you've got to work an active guard here.
Song trying to find some space to land some shots. Gutierrez neutralizing that position with the closed guards and those overhooks.
Gutierrez starting to open up a little bit now. Back to a closed guard, but he's having moments of thinking about doing what Mark is asking. I think Mark Montoya suggested maybe an omoplata on the left side. That might be something that Chris is really good at in the gym, but
I mean, how
Song's
many times
so
have we
heavy.
seen an omoplata landed in professional MMA, though?
True.
But even if it causes the scrambles,
Yeah,
that
that's
Paul
what
was
I think
alluding
they're.
to.
Yeah, I think that's what they would be wanting. I think it would be very rare for him to be able to throw up a omoplata and submit Song, but it could, like you talked about, could make that space. Could make Song just have to defend for a second, and in that is when you find the ability to get space, push off, push on the head, kick off the hips, back roll, do something to create a scramble so that you can get back up to your feet.
John Gooden delighted to be alongside Laura Sanko, Paul Felder for the final fight night of 2023. We are in the main event, the Bantamweight division, Gutierrez versus Song Yadong. Big fight for the rankings. And at the moment, Song is in a good position. If you turn your head and it gets caught, I'm not sure that you can complain.
Yeah.
I mean, you can tell the work that Song has put in at Team Alpha Male. This is classic stay heavy, chest to chest, head over head, and do damage. I mean, he's very safe here as Song, the heavy hips, top pressure.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's the game plan. I don't think it's necessarily the first strategy that they would have wanted for this fight, but you got to win. You've got to find a way to win. You're having trouble tracking down Gutierrez on the feet with the big power shots. Hey, take him down, control, throw big shots.
Thank you, fight fans, for your company tonight. and your continued support throughout 2023. Interact with us on the socials tonight. Let us know you really stood out for you so far. Big fights ahead next week here in Las Vegas, the fight capital. Dana White, who reflects on 2023 and helps us look ahead to a big 24. Don't miss our conversation on a year to remember. Laura, masterful cornering by Mark Montoya to get his fighter out of that funk.
Yeah, he could tell that Chris was distracted by what he thought were shots to the back of the head. I mean, he's been thinking about what's happening in the crowd, and to be able to have that moment, like, come back to me, talk to me here. That was a big mistake by Chris Gutierrez to
Paul
go
is
for an
shaking his head in the
roll.
commentary position.
Why would you do that?
I don't know.
Why would
Ryan
you do that?
Hall paid the ultimate price against Ilia Topuria doing something like that.
And Ryan Hall and Chris Gutierrez are completely different fighters, right? You really gonna roll for? I mean, listen, we've talked about, and Chris has mentioned how he's self-sabotaged.
And by the way, I haven't been scoring this fight, but it feels like a close fight, certainly the first 3 rounds. So I don't think it's time for Hail Marys. Maybe I'm wrong, but...
That is not the Hail Mary you want if you're Chris Gutierrez.
Flying knee.
Jump roundhouse kick. Jump spinning hook kick.
Clear the hook. Clear that butterfly.
And, I mean, I've got Song up, but
yeah,
even if it's close, it's the 5th round. You're delirious. You're in a fist fight.
And the last place you want to be is on your
And
back.
you've been controlled consistently on the ground. Mark said to him, he's going to look for the takedown. Let's time it. So you roll for a leg lock.
Just keep scoring. That's all.
It's a massive mistake, man. He's going to regret that.
Yeah, he will.
Could well be the early Christmas gift that Song Yadong wanted.
3 minutes.
A lot of time to work here for Song.
Let's use that overhook. You use your hips to the side.
He's finding some power behind those elbows. Another one. Starting to feed Gutierrez now. Maybe there's something to that third main event for Song as well. Just that veteranship. Having been in these positions before, staying the course, keeping concentrated.
He came into this one with a little bit of a chip on his shoulder. You know, in talking to him, I think he would have been like, he would have preferred to be facing a guy ranked closer to him or higher than him, and it was like he came in here and was like, fine, I'm gonna run through this guy. No, yeah, that has not been the case, but these last couple rounds, he's really shown how well-rounded his game is.
Been a lot of changes for Song in his last couple of fights, hasn't there? I think the Ricky Simone fight was delayed a week, then they made it, or promoted it to 5 rounds. This one was supposed to be at home in China. A lot of people were very excited about the homecoming of Song over there. Then it changed over to here, and he's facing Gutierrez. So looking to prove a point tonight, but also sailing through that kind of adversity, if you will, or that changing up of schedule.
Sure. But I think proving a point is a good way to put it.
Yeah.
That's the feeling I got from him when we had our fighting.
For sure.
Because when you look at the rankings, everyone above Song Yadong is firmly in the title conversation. Every single person above him. And he's got to win over Chito Vera, who's now challenging for the Bantamweight title. A controversial win, but a win nonetheless.
Just one spot above in the rankings, I think.
Exactly.
He's sliding these elbows into play now with Song. That was more than a slide. Stacking up that.
Don't grab the fence.
Ground control, but it's not just ground control. It's with it's control with vicious intent as well. Under a minute now left in our main event fixture.
You got 45 seconds, baby.
Staying busy is Song. That is very important as well. You haven't heard the referee try and intervene. And that left hand to work.
Still looking for a finish here late into this 5th round.
Last 20 as the hammer fists come into play. Gutierrez just looking for something. Song with a good couple for measure there. And a hammer fist as well. He looks good on the judges' scorecards, I would imagine. But it does go to the...
Well, fight fans, after 5 rounds, we go to the scorecards. Here are the totals: 50-44, 50-45, and 50-45, all for your winner by unanimous decision, the Kung Fu Kid, Song Yadong!
The rules on the back, there were no final questions from either of you. If you want to touch gloves, do it now. Come on, ready to fight.
I've never been to a Seahawks game in a stadium that's known as one of the loudest on the planet. After tonight, I don't know if my eardrums could handle it.
It's loud.
Group of fans in Seattle has been at a fever pitch all night. Song Yadong says he'll retire Cejudo with an impressive win. Cejudo and a return to the win column would be, in a word, nirvana. First of 5 rounds if needed.
Early, we see the same kind of fast twitch feints that we're used to from Henry Cejudo. Feints in the level change, twitching the shoulders. And one thing that Uriah Faber, the coach of Song Yadong, spoke about this week, he said he doesn't think the commitment level from Henry Cejudo is still there like it used to be. He said he's off doing other things, he's doing the podcast, he's become a legendary fighter, he's got all the accolades, he'll be in the Hall of Fame. He said where Song Yadong, he's just crushing it every single day in the gym, doing everything he can, flying in the training partners, making all the sacrifices. It feels Henry at 38 isn't quite doing that. We'll see.
And Song being very patient, kind of waiting for Cejudo to come to him, looking to counter.
Nice body kick. A nod of appreciation from Song. Ah, beautiful. Level change, the single leg up with the left hook.
He timed the knee against Cruz back in 2020 when he retained his bantamweight title.
See, Cejudo tried to do the same thing this time, come with a knee. But what he's going to do next time probably is actually go for the leg. Song wisely, very economical with his strike output right now. You don't want to go forward, you don't want to throw too much. The thing is with Cejudo though, you know, he's labeled as a wrestler. He's got a lot of knockouts and stoppages. Big power in his hands.
Yeah, so fast. Close the distance so well.
The first round against Merab, landed a left hook. Kind of stunned Merab. Really good footwork from Song Yadong, not allowing himself to be backed up.
Halfway through round 1.
Oh, good counter right there from Song.
Yeah, placed it perfectly.
Cejudo having trouble kind of really finding that range, being explosive, but he's given him a lot of looks, a lot of feints, and he has already a couple times just feinted at that takedown, and that's good for Cejudo. He wants to keep Song guessing. He doesn't want to be predictable.
And so far, in terms of a pace to sustain for 5 rounds, Song's very economical, not a lot of wasted movement. Henry, there's a lot of erraticness, a lot of feints, a lot of explosions. Over 5 rounds, that's going to slow you down.
Cejudo charges forward, lands a left. A leg kick of his own after Song landed one, and his foot was asleep there for a second.
Yeah, it was. Saw that step.
So Cejudo tested it again quickly. And again.
And again.
Yeah, that's smart from Cejudo. I'd stay on that leg.
And again.
Check that time.
Even the check, though, when it's low like that, it hurts. Yeah, just watch the replay of that. He didn't have control of that foot. We've seen that before with the low kicks. There's a single leg attempt, but Song all over it.
Yeah. If you remember, I think that actually happened to Henry against Demetrius Johnson. The peroneal nerve. Foot kind of goes asleep for a second.
Yeah, you go to step and the ankle just starts rolling all over the place.
Sean
Then you're at risk
O'Malley.
of getting hurt again.
Cheeto Vera. Song being very patient here.
See Henry trying to level change and finding his way in past that range of Song Yadong. But Song, again, just really good movement, getting his way out of there and then circling back around so he's not forced up against the fence.
Oh, there's a good right hand.
Sit on one that time.
Yeah, cracked him with that one. Now, oh.
Caught the kick and a combination lands from Song. Final 10 seconds of round one. Things heating up in Seattle. And Cejudo forcing him along the fence with pressure. Commercials can wait. We will keep it here for the duration of the main event as they touch gloves to start round two.
So as I said, a very economical approach from Song Yadong. However, with the more activity, you know, you are trying to win rounds if it goes to a decision. And Henry was definitely busier, forcing the action a little bit more.
Yeah, he's going forward. He's trying to explode into these shots. Level changing, come up with big punches.
Yeah. Song's doing a really good job of backing up and then going left or right. Most of the time backs up and goes right. Doesn't go backwards more than 2 or 3 steps.
Yeah, he's got to try to start finding the counters when Henry explodes in like that.
When the explosion stops, then he's got to bounce back in.
Leg kick's identical right now.
Yeah, that one seemed to bother Henry a bit. Switch stances. He didn't like that one. Now Song being more aggressive here.
Exactly. Now he's backing Henry up.
Yeah, he outstruck him in the first round by the numbers, and he largely did it on the outside in a countering style. Moving forward a bit to start round two.
Yeah, and now he's got Henry biting on all the feints, little twitches that he's doing.
Cejudo waving him forward.
Yeah, but that's just, he's playing the game. But Song knows he's in control of that big right hand.
Yeah, that was nice. Little level change right over the top of that right hand.
There it is again to that lead leg. And Henry can't get close to the takedown. Triples the jab.
Yeah, so Cejudo's starting to have trouble, and then Song now still attacking that leg, and every time he's in orthodox, that's one of the main weapons for Song.
Ooh. Timed it well that time, did Song. The left hand coming in. Cejudo answers with a left of his own that time.
He got a glancing left hook there.
Two very brief takedown attempts for Cejudo, one in the first and one in the second. Tried to snatch a single leg, and Song snatched it right back.
Yeah, he hasn't really committed. He tried there, but the hips of Song just all over it.
Yeah, but Henry's not driving through. By the way, I'm not critiquing his wrestling. To your point, I don't think he's fully 100% committing. He's still playing the game, still trying to set up strikes. The right hand of Song is so fast.
He's so quick to react to these shots.
Well, there was the knee. So you never know. He's such a smart fighter. Cejudo might be trying to just get him to dip his head so he can land that knee up the middle. He's done it before.
Yeah. And that's really smart because you know he's going to sprawl, which brings the chin down. You bring the knee up. What a knockout that would be. Because he's tried a couple of times, as you said, Brendan. Because you've got to think at 38 years old, you know, things do slow down a little bit. You can't do what you could when you were 28. That's just a fact. So maybe Henry's relying on the fact, listen, they...
Stiff jab.
Yeah, that got his attention.
Biggest punch of the fight for Cejudo lands.
You know, one thing people are going to work on if you're fighting an Olympic gold medalist, they're going to work the sprawl. And it just becomes encoded into their brain.
Yeah, as soon as you see any attempt to go low, your hips just come back.
Sprawl. So it's really smart of Henry to identify that, and the right hand left hook gets through.
Oh, now Song looking for a takedown. Nice job from Cejudo.
Momentum starting to swing back towards Henry Cejudo here. He's had some good moments through the latter stages of round 2.
Definitely opening up here. Oh, there's that uppercut from Song. It's one of his favorite punches.
So nice.
He's got a beautiful right hand usually too. It can be straight or it can arc right over your own jab. There's a left hook that gets through, but send Henry right back.
And he kept charging.
And again.
Chaotic close to round 2. Purchase UFC 313 before March 3rd. You'll get $10 off ESPNplus.com/PPV.
That was beautiful corner work on the side of Song Yadong. Danny Castillo in your right favor there, giving perfect instructions, nice and calm, saying, look, listen, now the fight's going to revert to just another guy throwing heavy punches at you. He's done with the wrestling, the legs chewed up as well. Get your hands high. And just fighting your typical style now.
Henry's coming out and he's landing with that left hand.
To the chin for Cejudo in the opening 30 seconds.
And he's
Song quick to answer.
Cejudo, he's got good chin, man. He's been cracking some good shots from Song.
And look at the size of his head to his body. Save the jokes.
Oh, still fainting that takedown to try to get those hips back of Song.
And the jab, really quick for Henry.
Nice combination from Song to answer.
Oh, good jab there from Song.
The hands aren't coming back to the chin though, but when Henry throws, when he throws the jab, it's coming down to his waist and then back up. He's got to be careful there. He's going to get clipped.
Yeah, right there, you can see it.
Every single time.
Strong start for Song through the first 10 minutes. But that was the story against Petr Yan in his last appearance, which came last March in Miami. That swung his fate the other way. We'll see how he withstands the pressure in rounds 3, 4, and 5 if we need him. Cejudo heavier to the body, but only narrowly. And Song outstriking Cejudo up top. His corner said to go forward. Henry takes a couple of steps forward, and then he eats one below the belt. So we will halt the action.
Hey, you're low. You got him in the cup. He's moving in. We'll see.
Song saying he didn't catch him in the cup. Let's see.
Is he low?
Mike Beltran, the replay official, is taking
Kind
another
of
look.
to the side. I mean, it's pretty cup-ish. We've seen that get called as a low blow.
You good? Watch your cup. You good?
Yeah, it was kind of off to the side of it.
Yeah. Song's just doing a really good job of just getting out of the way just a little bit now. And then staying in the pocket to land his counters.
Now he's opening up.
Yeah.
Oh,
Cejudo answers with a jab.
Cejudo not backing down from it, though.
Well, this is the only way Cejudo's going to win now. He hasn't been able to take him down. He's tried setting some traps. They haven't worked. Cejudo's got heavy hands.
Oh! Cejudo blocked that knee, but potentially still compromised.
And now he's just going to bite down on the mouthpiece and let the chips fall.
Yeah, he ate a good bit of that knee.
The problem is Song's a little faster. That's why you see him smiling. He knows. Henry's slowing down a little bit. The jab is faster.
Right back to the leg kick. I think that's important for Song. Chew up those legs, and they told him that in the corner too, that I think his legs messed up. Keep on that, keep chopping those legs. Man.
Right hand for Cejudo just when you think
Man,
it's going one way.
Chin on Song too.
Big time. That was a knockout shot.
And now Cejudo saying he's got poked in the eye.
I know they're both accidents, but we can't have accidents. We can't keep having accidents, okay? So be mindful of all those fingers, the kicks, everything from now on. You understand? Stay right here.
Yeah, that one, I mean, that was a double.
You got time? You want me to bring a doctor in? Have him put a cold compress on your eye?
Middle and ring finger.
You gotta start taking the fucking point. That's slice. Hold on a minute. Hey, I also need a towel.
For a point?
Hey, listen up. I need a towel.
Cejudo's urging Herzog to take a point. He says that's repeated infractions.
Yep. I don't think I've ever heard a fighter ask that before.
Song. He's over here. Stay over here.
You know, the Hall of Famers can work the referees for calls no matter the sport.
Well, that's it.
I mean, Herzog decides.
He's been around the sport. He's been around wrestling. You know, as Paul said, he's got the podcast, breaks down fights. You know, you look at it, you get a little wiser. Yeah, but it's a bad.
I don't even hate that Cejudo voiced it, right?
Eye poke. No, I don't hate it. What I'm saying is the experience level
We got you.
to try and influence the
We'll wait
referee.
here. We'll keep that here.
A point would loom large if it does happen. I doubt that Jason Herzog will, but it is his full discretion to do so.
Well, Jason isn't the type of referee to be influenced by a comment by a fighter. If it warrants it, he will do it.
For his eye.
Now, he has warned
I got you.
Song Yadong on a couple of occasions now.
Put that on the rag right here.
So you never
Do it
know.
on the rag and then on the rag on his eye. Okay. Thank you. That's good. Perfect. That's good. You good there?
How much time do we have?
You have enough time. You're good.
No, how much time do we have on the clock?
You have 1 minute and 16 seconds.
Left in the round?
Left in the round. Yeah. Okay, we're good.
Take this and hold it.
No. Keep that. You keep that.
And if Henry's started to slow down a little bit as well,
Let's have you right
again,
up
the
here.
older
You're good.
fighter,
We can continue.
not a
We'll
bad
give you
thing.
some time here. Please out there.
Expertly handled, as you'd expect from Jason Herzog.
Yeah, well, let's see what he does.
He kept the water in the doctor's hand because he didn't want Cejudo to reflexively take a sip. That would not be allowed. Just wanted to pour it on the rag.
You ready here?
No, hold on. I'm still.
Okay.
Cejudo asking for a little bit more time. 2.5 minutes in and counting. He has up to 5.
It's a veteran move. It's very smart. You know?
Take your time.
He's clearly slowing down a little bit, just a touch, you know, and that's giving Song Yadong a slight advantage. Take all the time in the world.
Yeah, we're talking about a vet here. You know what I mean? He knows he's got 5 minutes to take his time and clear this and
It's not his fault that Song Yadong double eye poked him, which is a disadvantage, so therefore turn it into an advantage. Take the time, suck it up. That's what I'd do.
And this is why refereeing is such a tough job because, you know, accidental or not, it affects the fight. So sometimes you'd like to see a point taken away if it affects the fight so much. I know it looms large and
well,
referee doesn't want to be part of the story, but how do you sit on that, Mike?
Well, there's been multiple eye pokes. At some point, they need to start deducting points. It's as simple as that. I'm a huge fan of Song Yadong and his entire team, but that was a bad one. That was a double eye poke.
How's your vision?
Take a point.
How's the vision?
That will send a message.
Yeah?
Referees need to take points
I just need time.
a lot faster. Okay, Henry knows what he's doing. He doesn't need the time, but I don't blame him. He's just been double eye pokes. Play it to your side.
Yeah, I don't know if that's
Referees need to take points.
But I'll give you time.
Okay, so?
No, I'll give you time.
Never been poked like that.
I understand. I'll give you time.
What did Herzog say? Sorry,
1
I
minute
was
left. Okay.
waffling.
We got 1 minute, okay? We got 1 minute to make a decision. Okay, I'll give you the minute.
Herzog was saying, are you ready to go?
He's gonna fight.
Yeah, the referee
says he wants to continue to fight, but he was kind of saying, I've never had vision like this within a fight. And Herzog says, careful what you say.
Yeah. You just stay loose and ready, okay?
Yeah, but the rule is he's allowed 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm fine, I just need my 5 minutes.
Got.
Well, Henry's...
30 seconds, brother. 30 seconds to make your call.
Well, Henry better be quick, because it's not 30 seconds, it's 15.
Yeah, it's less than that now.
Yeah.
Well, Herzog's not just going to wave it off.
I don't think Henry knows the time. Does he know the time?
Well, I mean, Herzog's going to ask him, are you ready?
Yeah, exactly.
He's not going to just call it.
I mean, that's crazy, though. So you just had 5 minutes. Expect fireworks.
Yeah.
Cejudo knows how to promote his fights and knows how to build the moment.
Yeah,
obviously, the eye poke had an effect on him, but
watch the fingers away.
Resume action.
But Song Yadong's just had 5 minutes as well. And he's annoyed. He's going to put those fingers away.
Damn.
And now Song wants to send a message.
Of course.
That's unfortunate for Cejudo, man. If Song lays it on here now, after an eye poke, you don't want to see it like that.
It's unfortunate for Song as well, because if he does get a beautiful finish now, it's going to be discredited by the eye poke. And I think more than likely, Henry is recovered. He's just had 5 minutes, but the fingers are still pointing out.
Yeah.
I hate to sound like a broken record.
I think Cejudo just wants to get out of this round into the corner.
Yeah, no, I think you're right.
It's a fight that is yet to get to the ground. Cejudo hasn't really chased any takedowns.
Henry hasn't thrown anything, so it's going to be interesting. I want to hear what he says to his corner.
And pretty evident that he just wanted to, like you said, Paul, get to the end of the round, which he did so. And we enter the closing rounds 4 and 5.
He's got to be careful.
Oh,
talking about not being able to see.
People, man. I can't fucking see you.
Oh my goodness, that is not good to say. We'll see what develops.
I can't, dude. I can't. I don't know what the fuck he's throwing at me, dude. Well, fucking he.
You're bleeding in the eye.
No, I know, but I can't fucking see, man. He's fucking blurry, dude. You know what I'm saying? I cannot fucking see, dude. Can you see it right eye? Can you see? Double? It's my left, dude. Okay.
Hey, let's go. Second down.
Let's go.
Hey, we got to
Mark. No, dude, man. Fucking. Bring a doctor, man.
We need to see it.
That eye poke, he can't fucking see.
We gotta go.
I can't see, Eddie. I can't see. It's the fucking left.
He can't see on the left.
Ringside position, we'll take a look.
Well. Get away from me. Mark. We're going to go to the scorecards. If you can't continue, we're going to the scorecards.
All right, you heard Jason Herzog, and I just checked with Mark Routner. It's an official fight at this point. They go to the scorecards.
This is the fourth round. I'm going to start this round. I'll start it, and then I'll call time. We'll go to the scorecards.
Oh, they're going to the scorecards.
Hey, listen. I need to go to the scorecards, so I got to start this round. Understand? I'll start this round. We're going to the scorecards. Okay? Get your stuff out. Go.
Cejudo, I think Cejudo thinks the fight's going to continue, but it's not.
No.
No, they're going to start the round and then stop it. So
I heard that, but I didn't see.
You can't continue. Okay?
Yeah,
so start
that makes sense. Okay. Yeah.
All right, stop. Ready? Are you good?
And this is a tease for all the fans in attendance that don't know what's going on.
Time.
I don't think he has to start the fourth round.
He doesn't have to start the fourth round.
Finished.
It's in the books.
I mean, get in here. Doctor. Good.
Yeah. I mean, this fight's good.
This is too bad, and like the fans in attendance don't know because they don't have the microphone on Jason Herzog, and so now they hate this.
Yeah,
3 full rounds is all you need.
This is a terrible way to end what has been a brilliant night of fights. One of the best crowds that we've ever seen.
Yeah, and Song Yadong, as you said, Michael, people will discredit what he did, but if we're scoring it, I mean, he won the 3 rounds, probably. We'll see how the judges saw it, of course, but he figures to get his hand raised and what would be his biggest career win.
Exactly, that's what I was going to say. He's about to get his hand raised. He landed more shots. He was the cleaner guy. Henry started off really, really strong. And that only Henry knows the extent of the damage that is just
Yes, so we'll go to the scorecards. It gets all the way scored through. I don't know how they are.
explaining it to Uriah.
If not, right? Yes, sir. So we're going to the scorecards because he could not continue.
They've got to start taking points straight away when eye pokes happen, because look at what we're seeing. People will have more responsibility for their fingers if they take a point straight away. If they know an eye poke happens, they're going to lose a point. What are they going to do? They're going to close their hands. They're going to stop leading with their fingers.
Tell you what, if he took a point, we're probably looking, potentially looking at a draw.
Yeah, yeah.
You were winning the third.
But if Song ended up winning all 3 rounds, then it'd be a 29-27 anyway. So that's all what could have happened. What will happen, we'll find out shortly when we get the official scorecards.
It's just unfortunate for everybody involved. You know, it was a really fun fight. They were really getting into it. I would have loved to have seen rounds 4 and 5 if there wasn't a poke. But, you know, I understand. If Cejudo really can't see out of his left eye, I don't want to see him continue either.
Right. And also, when you're that vocal about it, you give the referee and the doctor and everybody involved no choice.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of what Cejudo was doing. I think if you really can't see, you kind of want to make that vocal, because you'd rather almost go to the scorecards.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for decision. The judges score the contest 29-28, 29-28, and 30-27 for the winner by technical decision, the Kung Fu Kid, Song